Welcome back to the National Stadium as we are about to see the start of the second encounter. As we see a picture of a beautiful stadium, cricket stadium here in St. George's, Grenada. And then Justin, welcome this evening. Just looking at the houses around really produces a really picturesque sight.
Yeah, well, that's where we are located for, and that's where we were located all through the tournament for the matches that we are able to bring to you. Beautiful sight, showing you all the dynamics, of course, the double hills and the adjoining grounds around the beautiful cemetery that went out of view and everything that surrounds the ground. Of course, the St. John River just barely can be seen just on the far right hand side there. So quite a scenic view, as of course you viewers have had the opportunity now of having a bird's eye view from the eye in the sky.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
beautiful facility, and just at the back of it, the athletic stadium. We're probably going to see that later on, but it's really a splendid facility. As we see the start of play, St. Patrick's, and this ball is pulled down to backward square for 4. Good shot by Wivel Benjamin, opening and batting for St. Patrick's. Just to let you know, St. Andrews won the toss and opted to field, and that delivery from Amical Dubiset was short, and Benjamin, in his attacking frame of mind, was back and pulled it down to backward square. Good confident start.
Well, yesterday he struck his first delivery for 6. Today he's gone for a boundary. I did say yesterday that it was a sort of a launching pad for him, the start to launch the confidence that he showed.
Well, we try
in
to
his
give you the
innings.
team as we go through this over. Dubiset is his second delivery to Wivel Benjamin, and this one is hit or down to the cover fielder, and he comes in
Job.
and dropped there. Bad miss. That looked like Bishop. Really a bad miss again. Benjamin looking to go over the top, and it sliced off there. It went high up down to cover, and Bishop coming off the cover boundary. A bit slow in getting there, and just was able to hold on in the process. Another single to Benjamin. It's 5 without loss in the first over.
It was a bad miss by Bishop. Delivery which was struck high. So Weber Benjamin seemed to be the one charged with the responsibility to go out there and be positive from ball 1. And certainly a chance gonna begin. Yesterday one can well remember what happened, and it was the same Bishop who was dropped. And certainly St. David's would have suffered as a result of that. Let's see what it will cost St. Andrew.
Yeah, I was just about to make the same point with Bishop being dropped and similar circumstances. As the third man fielder was slow to get off, and when he get there, just was not able to take the catch. And we saw the result of what happened. Yeah, I think he was just on a single when he was dropped in. Third man went on to score a brilliant, I think it's 87.
84 and 87.
We are in the first over. St. Andrews opting to field, and opening batsman Wivel Benjamin. Now Alick Athanaze comes in to strike. The left-handed Athanaze, young player from Dominica, part of the Volcano setup, and he plays this one neatly down to third man, and he's off the mark.
Well, we saw a lot of that from Athanaze yesterday. He has the ability to play square with the wicket on the offside. The deliveries which are most of the time, sometimes even straight on the stumps. He can still maneuver that ball just behind square on the offside, or square with or in front of square on the offside. So this brings Wavell back into strike because he was put down. So it will be interesting if we will continue to really go leather hunting.
Well, I think it was he was productive yesterday in an aggressive approach, and I imagine he'll want to use the same method as this ball is played to cover. He probably would want to use the same method. Score 49 yesterday, and really he'll want to repeat his batting performance.
Yeah, I think anything up, maybe up in his half, he will certainly have a bang at it. That was a delivery back of a length, which he just steered into the offside. So,
and you want to take advantage of it. It's something we haven't been seeing much in terms of the opening batsman taking charge of even the ball that's pitched up to them to hit over the top. The fact that your mid on and your mid off is in, trying to use the aerial route going over the top, and it was successfully done by Benjamin in yesterday's game. Again, we seen, as we finished the first over, 6 without loss. We seen the Athletic Stadium, beautiful stadium. As we see the menu just at the back there.
Yeah, and of course the St. John River runs through from where it's up way up to the St. Andrew, come right down to
Yeah.
it's one of the longest or the biggest river in Grenada. Could be.
Well, I'm not too sure, but that Kerry might be able to give us some info on that when he comes in. We know he's one that probably go to get all those details, and we're looking at the.
Of course, we talk about River Road.
Yeah.
It got this name as a result of the river which passed through that, and the St. John River which we're looking at. Yeah. So.
Kavem Hodge is going to pick it up from this northern end, and he going to be bowling to Athanaze. He would know him pretty well. I think they're from the same country with Dominica. This one is short and it's hit down to backward square. Good diving effort. Let's see, goes down to the boundary for 4.
Yeah. A control shot by Athanaze. It was a delivery shot and probably not making a lot of height. Of course, Hodge hasn't pushed the ball through, but he just swiveled and just guided it basically between the man at short fine leg and at backward square. And he wasn't able to pull it back. It went into the boundary. He says a bit about his timing.
Yeah, his timing really timed well. Probably the fielder probably could have done a bit more. This one he plays straight to the forward square leg. And interesting, Kavem Hodge from Dominica, Athanaze also from Dominica, and must be a feeling for both of them to come here compete in a tournament for different parishes.
Yes, it's good for the competition, and added to that is the fact that their teammates, they're on the Volcano, they train together. I guess they would have had such encounters on numerous occasions.
Yeah.
So
could be a sort of personal dialogue competition between both players.
And also very friendly.
Very friendly.
Yep.
It's 11 without loss. We are in the second over. Dubiset bowling his first over, went for 6 runs, and Kavem Hodge 3 deliveries in the second over. St. Patrick's was asked to take 4 strike, and just to let you know that we have good conditions. It's not the bright sunshine yet, but a very good condition where we left after the first game being cloudy, but now I think it's much brighter, and I think the fielders will be happy to be on the ground in this sort of condition. It's 11 without loss.
Maybe not getting the type of bat Benjamin probably was expecting. He was on the back foot and looking to punch it through the extra cover. I did go through the extra cover region, but not with the kind of timing, and the fielder was able to come across and feel. But that gave them enough time to cross for a single.
Yeah, he will be disappointed that he didn't do much more with that delivery. It was short and really asking to be hit. It was not able to get a time in, neither the placement. And one at another single to Athanaze. This one is played to mid wicket, straightish mid wicket, and picking up another single.
Well, we do hope we wouldn't have interruptions from the weather. It's looking a little bit better, as you said, than it was maybe 1 hour ago. So it's the end of 2. And it's 13 for no loss. Weevil Benjamin is on 6-7 to Athanaze.
Yeah, quiet start after the first over. We probably which was pretty aggressive from the bat of Weevil Benjamin. We seen a better over. Hodge keeping things tight, and he's the sort of player that's going to just keep it there. Probably use his experience at St. Patrick's. He had 13 without loss, and this final, as we know, is we are expecting it to be of high level.
And of course, we continue to be blessed by you viewers get an opportunity to see different angles of this as the drone continues to provide us with this beautiful view from the sky.
Yes, most certainly. As we see every day, there's something new about communication in terms of making this broadcast, bringing this broadcast as close to your lovely shot. Short delivery, and again, you see the timing of Athanaze as he stood up here and he hit that beautifully over mid-wicket. Really, really good shot by Athanaze.
Yeah, it was asking to be hit. It was short. It was in the right place, and he just simply got on it and just hit it. Never attempting to put it down. Hit it all the way. It's gone to the over the boundary for 6. So good start by St. Patrick again. Positive start.
Yeah, lovely shot. And again, one had to speak about the timing of this young player. He really hits the ball well, and you can see minimal movement. But he was in a really good position and hit it sweetly over mid-wicket. Really confident shot. He moves to 13. Is 19 without loss as Dubiset. Still with 3 fielders on the leg side. Short, fine leg, mid-wicket and mid-on. And this one is played down to backward point. Sweetly timed and goes down to the boundary for another 4.
Yes, well, the fielder Todman didn't have to run a long way. He didn't have to go very far. But he never had a chance. It was so well timed. And it went away to the boundary for 4.
Just look at the position, and he got over that ball and really caress it down to that boundary there. The timing really, and it really went across the surface, and he picked up another 4. He moves quickly to 17. 2 beautiful shots, and really is a good player in making. This one is outside the off stump and wide signal.
Look to be a slower ball, probably trying to bowl a slower ball wide of the stump to try to tempt Athanaze into going after it. Just allow it to go through, call wide.
And it will be important that Dubiset keep a good line and then focus on the off stump, because there's nobody. There's no long leg, and that fielder just on the circle itself. Anything goes to his left or to his right. Coming off the fast ball would be very difficult to stop. And then there's load of spaces on the leg side.
Again, another wide. Just missing that line, and here, Crony, with the advantage of the drone, we virtually can see from an angle now where we see the crease really pretty well and everything. It will also aid us, yeah.
Yeah, well, certainly it'll put us in a better position even to judge some of the decisions that have been made. But Dubiset again, you could see him. The concentration really would be on the off stump, outside the off stump, with a 6-3 field, and he would want to make every effort to keep it just a bit wide with the last 2 deliveries.
About a 25-meter run up. He comes in. Athanaze looking to whip it over the onside now. Pitch him probably outside the leg stump.
Yeah, again we're going to have a look at it again, but looking to take advantage of that leg side field. Maybe looking to whip it between that mid-wicket and that mid-on. And
pitch outside leg.
And load appeal, but pitch outside legs. Good decision by umpire Rupert Holas, umpiring at the southern end. John Marcus at square leg. Full to the bat and played beautifully down the ground for yet another 4. And again was the timing. Really the timing was so sweet. He just came down on this ball and pushed it back fast bowler and really sped across the surface down to the boundary for 4.
Yes, it was what you may just call an extended defensive shot. Just coming forward, just the width, right, but well weighted. The body, you can see the body weight coming forward, everything behind the shot, and just pushed it past the right hand of Sherman Lewis, who is at mid-on, and the chase and the fielder coming around also from mid-off never had a chance.
Yeah, certainly speaks to the timing of this young player, Alick Athanaze. He's on 29, 21, and it's right up, and some trouble there.
Yes.
He had to come down on this last delivery, play it on the offside, and the fielder coming around there.
Kavem Hodge doing the good work there, just behind point on the offside. And it will be probably a game of Well, these guys, the Athanaze and the Hodge, when he get his chance for St Andrew.
And probably the Bishop.
Yes, yes, yeah. Very interesting. Well, today being Palm Sunday, maybe the Bishop will give us his blessings here today. Bless us with something
Certainly,
special.
I think we have to, as we conclude the third over 29 without loss, but I think that we have to feel good and really give a lot of thanks. We have been blessed in terms of the weather. We are very fortunate to be in a position where we can have this quality of cricket, the best players on the island, and some of the Windwards players being involved in such a tournament. And yeah, by all, I think the weather have been really good to us, probably over the last 5 weeks.
And I think we can continue to see how pleasurable it is for us to be able to take you almost up close and personal with the players.
Yeah.
Very
You know,
cool shots.
the quality of what we are seeing here really has to be done. This one is hit down to cover of the back foot. Goes Benjamin, is going to run close to the boundary ball. We pulled up just inside. And they collected how many? 2 runs?
Yeah. So not a bad delivery. It was a delivery which was pretty close to the batsman. But Benjamin was able to stand tall and force it and getting getting into bounce over the head of the fieldsman at extra cover and picked up 2. And here he's pulling and again well stopped just behind square on the onside.
Yeah, good stop there. And playing back to that delivery one, I thought when it left that he should have been on the front foot, but again, it was given a lot of air slowed up there, and he went back to pull it. Good stop by the backward square. Short.
This time playing hard into the ground again, but not getting it to go past the fielder at extra cover as he did previously.
Yeah, sometimes one have to look for placement and not power. And if he came back and just all it meant was just to steer that delivery. And
he's down the track now and got a lot of it and enough of it in fact to take it over the boundary for 6. So a good hit, a good shot there by Benjamin, and he continued to really you say what? Where his lock on his sleeve?
yeah, good shot tossed up, and he came down the track and hit and went over long off. And again, taking the advantage still in the power play. There's nobody at long off. We're 2 fielders out, one is long on, and the deep mid wicket. Now we are seeing some adjustment. The mid wicket on the boundary comes into normal mid wicket, straightish, and then we see an extra cover goes back on the rope. So the 2 fielders out, long on, and cover on the boundary.
Short outside the off stump and again punched powerfully down towards the field at deep extra cover. And there is a single again for Wavell Benjamin, but certainly a different Wavell Benjamin we've seen over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, I think his inning yesterday would have given a lot of confidence the way he played. And he went out to the same vein. Was lucky to be dropped.
Yes.
Deep cover.
And was lucky not to be dropped from the team, as he said. He was going through such a bad patch. He wasn't even expecting to play yesterday, as he said in the interview.
Pushed down to long off. Another single. That completes the 3rd over, the 4th over. And it's 39 without loss. St. Patrick batting first.
Well, it's a good start. Almost 10 and over. 39 without loss after 4. And certainly it's a similar pattern, and if we get a game like the 2 games we had yesterday, I think we will say that we couldn't wish for a better way for the season to end. At that rate, they probably should get somewhere around 50, 160.
Yeah, what the start they have is just a matter of maintaining that start now, and I think they probably should be looking at around 180 based on what we are seeing. The pitch continues to play very well, and it's really easy for batting. And 39 with a loss after 4, but just to continue maintain that momentum, bat sensibly. A lovely shot again down to backward point. I love the beautiful shot again by Athanaze. Just short, and he just stood up and hit it sweetly down to backward point. A beautiful shot for 4.
Yes, and he hit it with the full face of the bat. One can see it's the full face of the bat hitting that with just almost just slantly opening the face of the bat. And the fielder barely had 15 meters or 10 meters to move to his left and couldn't get there. Well, Sherman Lewis, who probably saying, well,
you know, interestingly, it's the speed that the ball is coming off the bat. There's no big drive or no looking for big hitting, but really in position and really timing the ball sweetly, and it really is traveling really quickly off the bat.
Maybe a change in tactic by St. Andrew. We didn't see Sherman Lewis opening the ball in, but he's on now. Oh, well, better still.
And what a shot. Picked up on the up. We're going to look at that in the replay again. It was a really convincing shot. Let's see. Not a bad delivery. Pretty good length. You know, he just picked it up and hit it sweetly over long on for 6. Superb shot. He races to 32. It's 49. We are in the 5th over. But tremendous batting so far.
Yes, and it's the good thing about it is that it's proper cricket shot. He's not slugging. He's not just playing. The ball is there to hit, and he hits it. And that's what we want to see from our young players. As Lewis, who has struggled a bit in the tournament so far, he hasn't really set the tournament on fire. He's probably one of the most experienced players out there who has played. He has played at the highest level.
Yeah, it's the sort of player that we expected really to be one of the leading players in this tournament, and really haven't shown that. He didn't play in one of the games, but really have not created the sort of impact that we expect him to. But he's coming up against a player that is in tremendous form. A lovely shot through. Another 4 short, and he just stood up. And again hit that sweetly. Between mid-wicket and long and went down to the boundary for 4. What a shot.
Well, I see something like Devon Smith in that stroke. Look at it again. Devon Smith, you see something like Devon Smith. Maybe they've been in the net. He may have learned something from Smithy in the net. He's a similar type of stature. Yeah.
Certainly a blazing start by St. Patrick. They are 53 without loss. We are in the 5th over. Athanaze on 36. And really in quick time, 17 deliveries, 5 4s and 2 6s.
Really taking a liking to Sherman Lewis.
No, the long one has been placed. He goes back. Let's see. Long one on the boundary, bit wide. Drive a lovely shot through the covers again, but Bishop is on the cover boundary. Again, ball coming really sweetly off the bat as he came forward and really stroked this one through the covers.
Yeah, beautiful batting.
Yeah, certainly a touch player, really a touch player.
You want to maybe call a name, Crony, that the way the ball is coming off the bat and just with minimum effort?
Well, there are 2 players that I always consider technically correct, sweet players. Thinking about from the West Indies team, and I could call on Jeffrey Dujon and certainly Gordon Greenwich.
Correct.
They're really top players, and when those guys stroke the ball, you know, it's so beautiful to look at.
This was a much better delivery by Lewis, going right up in the block hole, almost asking Benjamin to dig it out. And he did. So after what, 5 or 6?
5.
After 5, 55 without loss. 16 it is to Benjamin. Athanaze is 37, and a tremendous start by St. Patrick.
Yeah, very good start, confident start. Lewis in his first over went for 16, and really going for 16, you would think that certainly it has been swashbuckling, but really beautiful shot, hit over mid-wicket for 6, and then he hit 2 4s, 1 down to backward point and 1 to mid-wicket. We have seen Athanaze on 37, And really, he so far has faced 18 deliveries, 5 fours and 2 sixes. Really played some beautiful shots.
Well, listen, Andrew haven't waken up yet. By now they should be fully awake, because certainly they have taken it by the St. Patrick team have really taken it by storm, taken them by storm this morning. I will not allow them to settle into any kind of a groove. And see, another bowling change at the northern end, as Hodge has given away to Rogers from the northern end.
Yes, what is more spin? Still just 2 players out. Long on, deep mid wicket, short delivery, and he really missed out on this one. Maybe signal a wide, but really an opportunity, Benjamin there to put this one away.
Everything just can't go away. Most of everything has gone the St. Patrick way this morning.
Another short delivery.
They just hit hard into the ground. The Benjamin backing away and looking to pierce that offside field, and not timing it. Probably still looking to hit it a bit too hard. So just losing the timing. Smash down towards mid-off. Hit too hard to get a single. The fieldsman diving away to his left couldn't quite stop it. May have gotten a hand to it, and it just went down to the fielder at mid-off, and there was no run. So one of the few times we've seen the ball come off the bat and there wasn't a run scored. Time again is off the back foot, and again not timing it properly at all.
Yeah, not giving the batsman much room. The shot kind of close to him. Benjamin looking to hit through the offside. If he could beat the offside, you'd be able to get it down to the boundary, but have to time it well.
Yes, so you look down from the view from the top of the pitch. Wonderful surface. And beautiful to bat on. Ooh, bowl him going across the line, and the first wicket for St. Andrew. They would think that it has come a little bit later than they catered for. They did have an opportunity to Bishop to get rid of Benjamin this morning. They didn't do so, but he's gone now, bowled, looking to pull one. Again, missing. He missed a couple of them this morning.
Yes, certainly short. One expected that he probably would have been able to put bat onto this one. Not as short as he expected, but he did get a few short deliveries in that over and was not able to make use of it. Looking to pull there, and this one went through him. And St. Andrews picking up their first wicket. Weaver Benjamin was bowled for 16, looking to pull there. And Rogers in his first over picking up one for one.
Right, so 56 for 1. We're in over number 6. The final, in fact, 1 ball to go in the power play.
Dennis Smith comes in, and as you said, just in so beautiful condition. We look at the National Stadium. It's really a picturesque sight. We are not allowed, spectators at the moment, but certainly a big facility. Holds, I think, if not mistaken, just about 16,000.
And certainly a big opportunity given to the cricketers to show their skills, to execute their skills, and not only in the in the environment which exists here, but also for the world to see.
Yeah, it is a beautiful facility. One feels very secure in this facility, and we are so blessed that what is going on in the world today, I think we here in Grenada can breathe a sigh of relief, feel happy with the condition that we have right now. Obviously, I think that we are disciplined people. I mean, having to go through some tough time, but I think we can breathe a sigh of relief that we are relishing our situation at the moment.
Well done, Richard. Well done. Well done.
So it's the end of the 6th. At the end of it, St. Patrick still nicely placed. They're 56 for 1. And Smith has not yet scored. Athanaze, who has looked exceptional this morning, is on 37.
Yeah, still a good start for St. Patrick's, 56 for 1 in 6 overs. We have seen a difference with the spin coming on. Rogers keeping things a little bit tight. In that over, he only went for 1 and being able to pick up the first wicket.
Yes. So it would not be Lewis to continue. He went for what? About 16 in his first over. In fact, it would be Daniel McDonald to continue. He to bowl from the southern end. So Lewis didn't start well.
Yeah, but I must say not all the deliveries are bad deliveries. I
Correct.
think it's a really good batting by Athanaze because he bowled a few good deliveries that really were put away. So again, it shows you that, you know, with pace on the ball with the fast bowlers, it's much easier to score. We are seeing that the team that have spin, that banking on a lot of spin, just seem to be creating more and more problems. We had a first spin from Rogers from this northern end, just going for 1. And McDonald will fancy his chances coming up against Athanaze. Now they're able to push the fielders back, so there's quite a ring of fielders on the boundary. Mid-wicket on the boundary, long on the boundary, long off. Cover on the boundary, and even down a big backward point. So there are 5 fielders out. A lot of space on the leg side.
Yes. There's another extra has gone out to what? 4, 57 for 1. This one of the problems that has plagued some of the teams, the extras. So a single for Athanaze, probably not quite getting the timing on this one. Maybe the ball probably may have left him, probably just got a little too far away from it and had to fetch it in the end.
Yeah, it actually stayed down a bit. So, you know, he was kind of early into the shot and really kind of pull it around. And the fielder, Bishop at mid-wicket having to run. A good pickup. And limiting the batsman to just a single. So Athanaze moved to 38. Really have been a splendid inning so far. So, at the right-handed Dennis Smith. This one hit down to backward point. Good shot. Short outside the off stump, and he gave it a full treatment, picking that gap between the backward point and the cover on the boundary, and being able to pick up another boundary.
Yes, a good shot. It was short. It was outside the off stump. We can't say it was the best delivery, and given the treatment, Bishop and McDonald down there just didn't have a chance of cutting that off. So
yeah, just splitting the 2 fielders on the boundary. Pretty close. Backward point on the boundary and the cover squarish, so there's not much room there. And he was able to pick the gap.
So Daniel McDonald, 62 for 1. And they will continue to go at a healthy rate, and it's a slight inquiry. Smith looking to maybe just play it somewhere down behind square, somewhere down towards third man.
Yeah, look at it steered fine. Made no contact. And this one is
Short
pulled
on
on
the
the square
body
leg,
again.
and this is going to go into the boundary for another 4. Short delivery, and Smith played it well as it went down to backward square. The fielder feeling just a short, fine leg, and then there was a mid-wicket on the boundary, had no chance.
Well, we saw earlier Benjamin would have missed out on a couple similar type deliveries, and this time Smith being put away by Smith, probably a bit more accomplished. A good finish by Daniel, by the bowler Daniel McDonald. And it's important, even if you're struck for a boundary or 2 in and over, that you finish strongly. He did that, and it left the score on 66 for 1. after 7.
Yeah, still a good start. Good start by St. Patrick's. As we another overhead view of the facility. Yeah, it's a square that has 5 pitches. This facility was built for the World Cup in 2007. A lot of work have been done here. Certainly a lot of work, and the surface also have been relayed. So it's actually sand based. So a lot of work was done as it was prepared for the World Cup. We had a number of games played down here during the 2007 World Cup, and the field continues to really be a top class. Maybe just a bit of a brown spot. I guess the hot sun we have been having, maybe the lack of rain, just intermittent showers every now and then, but no height of rain. It's a facility, it's a field that can be transformed in very quick time. It probably just take about 2-3 weeks to be in top shape in terms of totally green and so forth. It's costly to maintain, but such is the nature of this facility.
Easy.
It's always an easy one there, although there was a slight hesitation on the part of the batsman, but no danger really.
Doobie set having to run around to field that ball just in the short backward square.
So we're up to what, 67 or 68?
67
for 1.
He moves from backward square from the left hander to backward square for the right hander. Is Doobie set. Rogers in his second over. Toss up and is driven. Took cover. It just seemed to come off the bunks, but good stop by the feline. Look like Lewis.
Shaman Lewis, yes.
Lewis in the covers. Wearing the number 12 shirt. Look at the turn on the outside, pitched up. Loud appeal, but not out. We're going to have another look at this one.
You're just slanting down the leg side.
Smith a bit cautious there.
This time outside the off stump, and an appeal for caught behind. And not out, says the umpire. Smith following that outside the off stump. And for a moment, you look at it.
Keep going.
Well,
Yeah,
seem to have
certainly.
missed.
Played under this one.
They may have heard something. I don't know what it is. We didn't pick it up in the microphones here. You picked up any? No, we didn't pick up that sound in the microphone.
Good line by Rogers. Just keeping it simple line, and as the captain said, they just go out and try to play basic cricket, and he's again on a good line, just keeping it simple. And Smith could do no more than just push forward as he concluded second over, 2 overs, no maidens, 2 runs, 1 wicket.
Yes, and after 8, Athanaze is on 39, Smith is on 8, and 67 for 1. And probably it's doing Athanaze no good, the fact that he's been away from the strike for quite a bit now.
Yes, away from the strike, and now we have the slow bowlers on. So he doesn't have that sort of freedom with the ball coming onto the bat. Certainly will have to use his judgment in terms of pushing the ball around. So it's getting a little tighter, even as slow bowlers are beginning to take some control.
Yes.
A lovely shot again, short. And there's a fielder in place, Bishop on the boundary.
So another single, and of course the rain seemed to have just gone away for a while. Although it's still a little bit, it's still somehow overcast, not really blazing sunlight. But the players, I think, will be very, very appreciative of the weather, the coolness out there now at this time. And 68 for 1, of course, and Andrew will want to make further breakthroughs, further inroads into the St. Patrick batting, which is a fairly decent batting team, Crony.
Yeah, with people like Devon Smith to come, I think there's, you know, they will feel confident. This one is hit just past the short fine, like pick up 2 runs.
Miss there by, bad miss there by, that is, but that look like McDonald that's there. Yeah,
and,
bad miss.
Yes, Smith looking for the pull shot, not getting hold of it. Just went past the fielder there.
Oh, and it's gone. Well, dragging him down the track. Good bit of bowling again by McDonald. And the delivery probably just a bit wide, and Smith not getting to the pitch of it. And in the end, pushing at it and not really, and missing it. Yeah, just beating him on the outside edge of the bat. The ball did not come back in at all, probably as he anticipated. And he was thumped. So
yeah, good delivery, well flighted, just outside the off stump. And when you fly those delivery outside the off stump, it does look as though delivery you can hit. Smith came down the track and looking to push it on the offside, and really missed as it went straight on with the arm. It didn't really turn much. And easy stumping for Andy Matthew. So St Andrews striking second blow, 70 for 2. We're in the 9th over, and as you see, Justin, with the advent of spin, certainly slowed the progress of the runs, and St Andrews was able to pick up 2 wickets.
yes, and once Smith gives way to the experienced Devon, and he makes his way out to accompany Athanaze, and probably the destiny of St Patrick in terms of where they would end up lies with these two.
Yes, most definitely. They are 2 of the better batsmen. Smith with all his experience, made runs, you know, all over the region, and therefore he would want to consolidate their position at 70 for 2. Athanaze continue to play well. He's on 40. So I think St Patrick's will be hoping that this pair is going to really take them deep into the 20th over, and if they do, certainly would be in a position of strength.
Yes. And the shot we saw of the mountains, the clouds will have been very nice, giving us quite some confidence that we'll be able to get through this evening without much interruptions. So it's Devon taking his first delivery and off the back foot and punches it into the cover. And a single was that, so he gets off the mark. And he's on 1, 71 for 2. We're over number 9.
Yeah, 2 left-handed batsmen.
And that would suit St Andrew because you have 2 off spinners in operation.
Again, lovely timing down to extra cover. Athanaze really hitting that ball sweetly as the 9th over come to an end. 72 for 2. Athanaze on 41. And Devon Smith just facing 1 deliveries on 1.
Yes, and Athanaze has been. He needs to probably bat close to the end, and if he does, I think we would probably see a really good. I'm not even talking about Devon Smith, but Athanaze, if he does maybe bat on close to the end of the game, 15th, 16th over in the last 5, I think St Patrick will favour themselves. They will probably have a fairly decent score by that time.
Yeah, I think that's what they want to happen. Hope that they're going to bat out maybe until around the 16th over, and if they do, definitely probably would be in a strong position.
Thank you.
In beautiful timing, a delivery pitched up on the onside and flicked out towards mid-wicket, and there is no run, but every shot really coming off the bat rather crisply. This time just opening the face of the bat and running it down towards third man.
Yeah, really good bowling by Rogers.
We've seen some teams sometimes get stuck when the bowling when it gets tight. But Athanaze has been able to rotate strike despite that. Found a way to just open the beat, glide it here and there, and rotate strike. I think this is a great attribute in games like this.
And we see This scoring rate gone up to 7.68.
Yeah, able to pull it back, but again, that's what wickets can do. They have lost 2 wickets in the last what 5 or so, less than 5 overs. Oh, beaten. Well, look at that again. Beaten badly there, Smith. Probably.
Beautiful delivery. It'll be interesting to see what happens there as he was on the front foot. As we look at it here. Oh, certainly beat back very close to the off stump. It just seemed to be holding its own. Smith obviously playing for the ball to come back into him.
Maybe just have him a little bit ruffled. The one that beat him looking now to just what is it called, a release shot.
Yes, certainly has been ruffled there. Smith trying to take him on next delivery. Interesting battle.
Yeah, very interesting. This time he's in defense on the back foot. Remember that Calypso crony. If you don't release me, I'll go dead.
Certainly, you remember all the Calypso. I'm not sure I would remember that. But very good over by Rogers. It's third over. 3 overs, no maiden. 3 runs, 1 wicket. What a spell! It really has pulled things back. After 10 overs, it's 73 for 2.
Yeah, and probably one of the better overs that we've seen. Well, he's bowled pretty well, but Smith can also count himself lucky to be there. That ball from maybe missed by a quarter of vanish, and then a loose shot, the delivery after. And here is one now being ploughed high and hard and long. And that goes out towards the western side, down over mid-wicket. Again, Athanaze, timing, precision, beautiful hit for 6.
Yeah, good shot, pitched up, and he make it look so easy as he went down and really pick it up and hit it, and probably about 85 meters, and hit it out over the boundary for 6. Really good positive shot. Again, the timing of this player comes into play. Really striking the ball well.
So with a spin and pace, he seemed quite adept to playing both pace or spin. That's certainly is a sign of a good player. 80 for 2. So Athanaze goes to 49. He's 1 away from 50. Smith is on 1. Short outside the off and cut down, slap down towards the fielder on the backward of point boundary. And he comes off. So there is a short third man, and of course a backward of point on the boundary. So short again, and Smith off the back foot and punches it up into the on this occasion, Sherman Lewis not holding on to it, and probably would have thought that he had a chance as the batsman went through for a quick single.
Yeah, and 28 balls, 47 minutes, 5 fours and 3 sixes. Quite a beautiful inning. Played by Athanaze there as a 2 meet, and Devon Smith, they just going to greet him in mid pitch, but really have been a tremendous inning.
Can quite stop the single. As the ball is dug out.
Yeah, 83 for 2. Smith looking for the drive. They're not getting hold of this one. Looking to hit it to mid-off. It went down to mid-on. And just getting past the bowler. So, Athanaze on 50. Down the track and hit beautifully over long off for 6. What a shot.
Yes.
Real sweet movement of the feet. Just came down the track, and you could see in full control as he came down the track, not to do anything different, but just hit through the line and hit it over extra cover. As we look at him here, beautiful shot.
Yes,
just opening up and give himself room. And yet another 6. Takes the score to 89 after 11 overs. Back up to just over 8 runs, 8.9 runs per over. And he continues to bat beautifully and takes the score on to 56.
Yes, and really, and in all of that, he hasn't lost his form. We haven't seen him lose his shape at all in his stroke play this morning. Head still right over the ball and timing perfectly. Bishop for the fielder down there maybe thought for a moment that he probably had a chance, but no way. It went cleanly out for 6. So it will be Rogers again and driven by Smith. Lovely shot through extra cover, and that's classic Devon Smith.
Yeah, lovely shot. This one was pitch up, and I really give it the full treatment. And we know that, you know, his strength in terms of driving, but he really hit that one sweetly. And even past that that shot, extra cover. And even though the fielder wasn't far from it, long off, wide, but really hadn't a chance.
One of the few bad balls that we saw from Rogers so far. Over pitch, but again, you have to put it away.
It's a short, and this one is pulled.
down.
Will be a bit disappointed that he didn't really put this one away. That it went down to the fielder on the mid-wicket boundary.
Oh.
And O'Geese on the boundary there, picked up a single. This one is pitched up and stroke
One is one.
down to long off. George comes off the long off boundary. It's 95 for 2. We are in the 12th over.
May have been just testing the line there, pretty close to the line which is drawn, so you can't transgress. It was just a shade inside. Low full toss, which probably Devon Smith maybe if he was there probably for a little bit longer may have been able to dispatch.
Yeah, I think he a little disappointed. Probably felt he could have done a lot more with that full toss. There's a big gap between long on and the mid wicket, and probably should have been looking to bisect, pick that gap.
Hey, thank you.
Oh, giving it away almost in the end. So Athanaze looking to hit it square, and in the end hitting it in the air, and a simple catch there.
It's certainly good, really have been good bowling. And again, he trying to hit this one, trying to pick the gap and just be able to hit it in the air. But I think I was looking for the gap between that backward point and cover. And it went straight to the backward point. But tremendous in there, going for 56. Really have been a brilliant inning.
And even the stroke was played was so sweet, so smooth. Like he almost had too much time to play the shot.
Yeah, I think he was not really to the pitch of it, and the bunks would have caused the ball to hit high up on the bat and went down the backward square. But again, Rogers continued to bowl very well, and he certainly, I think, picked up his second wicket. He's in his 4th over, and so far 2 for 10. Really bowled well, and really he had pulled it back. Again, Justin, we've seen that with the advent of the spin bowling, really would have just turned back things. At one stage, St. Patrick's 49 without loss in 4 overs. But really, with the slow bowling, just seemed to have slowed it down a bit.
Yeah, but still it's going at a healthy 8 and over at this stage. If they can, if they continue at that, they will score 160. If they can go maybe quicker, they can easily come up with score about 180, as you said earlier.
Yes.
But it all now will depend on Devon Smith. So he gets to the non-striker's end, and he goes into double figure. He's on 10, 97 for 3, going over number 13. So then Roy Charles, the captain, is in, and he will take his first ball from McDonald, Daniel McDonald.
Yeah, St. Andrews certainly will be happy to see the back of Athanaze. I think that's a big blow. They will feel now that they can tighten their grips on this game. See just some adjustment to the field. McDonald, we really paying particular attention to the position of the fielders. A deep backward square is now going out on the boundary. There's mid wicket, wide on the boundary, long on the boundary, long off and cover. This one is hit down to the fielder on the cover boundary, Bishop.
So Charles looking to get down the track Hit it down in the deep cover boundary, so he gets off the mark. And almost searching for it there, Devon Smith. Like maybe if I maybe have been beaten in the flight, one can almost see him feeling for it with the bat.
And he's hitting down to cover again. The fielder on the boundary, having some work to do.
Yes. Another single scrambling down there. Turned away on the onside by Charles, can't score. So they just one away from 100. It will certainly be a psychological boost when they get to that landmark. And Charles gone. Well, it was a delivery, it was full, it was outside the off stump. And Charles, I don't know what he was trying to do. Didn't look to go straight, looked to tug it away to mid wicket. Only succeeded in finding the mid wicket fieldsman. And he's gone for one, and he will be disappointed with that.
Yes, certainly disappointed. Now you go in there, you want to stick around Dennis Smith there, and he looking to again swing this one somewhere over mid wicket. Was only able to hit it straight to the mid wicket fielder, who has take a very good catch. That's Donald McDonald took a very good catch in mid wicket of the bowling of Daniel McDonald, and St Andrews having picked up the 4th wicket, 99. We're in the 13th over. Smith on 11, and Charles would be disappointed, but St Andrews really coming back strong, picking up some wickets.
Yes, and that is what will hold the progress. You've got to pick up wickets as Olive comes out. So they're 4 for 99 and losing, well, 4 quick wickets. Basically, the wickets have fallen rather quickly.
Yeah, a good opening stand of a start of 56, I think it was. But certainly after that would have lost some important wicket.
Lost 4 for 43, which is quite not what probably they were expecting, not quite where they was expecting to be at this stage after the start. But that's what happened. Wickets can fall in bundles in this form.
Yeah, that's what makes this game of 2020 cricket so interesting. As 1-2 overs can change the course of a game. Well, we've seen George, Dina George going to pick it up from this northern end. Devon Smith on 11. Good face. And here this one is hit down to good shot. Just hit down, pitched up. And hit over wide long on for 6. Again in the slot. I think it was the right way to go, and he didn't try to swing too much across, but with the tide hit it over wide long on for 6.
Well, the thing is, a lot of airtime the ball had, maybe not timing it as well as he wanted. It went pretty high, but it had enough to take it over the boundary, and that's all that mattered. So I was about to say it was the battles of the 11. It was George, who wears number 11 on his back, against Devon Smith, who was on 11. But he has quickly made separation between them.
He's changed. He's now coming around the wicket. Left-handed Dina George coming around the wicket. Left-handed Devon Smith. And this one is pulling down to mid-wicket. Let's see.
Again enough legs.
Really good shot. It didn't look as though he got the time in there. But shortish in length, and he hit it same region, same spot, down to the wide long one for 6.
But just too short, and delivery too short outside the off stump, giving Devon Smith enough time to just rock back and pull it over a vacant area, and it goes well back. I think this time a lot flatter, so probably struck a lot harder than the previous delivery.
Yeah, and just in tremendous camera work there by the camera, and really follow that ball from the time it left the bat. Really, we had to continue to really give some credit to the quality of our cameramen in terms of the work they are doing.
It's on the screen for all to see, so if we say they're the best, I don't think anyone will argue that.
Smith moves to 23. It's 111 for 4. In the 14th over, St. Patrick's was asked to take first strike, and we was privileged to see a brilliant inning by Alick Athanaze. Certainly the last 2 days we had a couple of brilliant innings that we were able to be part of. He now goes back over the wicket. We see the offside field, long off.
Once again, a little dark
Cover on the boundary.
Cloud over the Dabo Hills. That's where the rain comes from, yeah? Over the Dabo.
Yeah, push your backward point by Smith. Smith wearing the number 12 shirt. Really have been really prolific for the Windwards.
Yeah. Going back to the Dabo Hills, Crony, we know that when the rain is seen around the southeast, it's not a problem at all. It usually goes over the hill, but when it's in the back of us here, and it's another single for Smith. So whenever you see that cloud banking up over the Dabo Hills in the back of us, Crony, we probably are pretty sure that at some point there would be some kind of interruption. We hope it wouldn't happen, but it does look a bit ominous back there. So Smith is on 24. Olive has not yet scored. We're in over number 14, 112 for 4. So the match interestingly poised. So once again, looking over the hills, one can see just some pretty dark clouds. I mean, amidst the lighter clouds. And Olive checks it into the onside and goes through and gets a single. So he's off the mark. He's on 124 to Smith. He comes back into strike. 113. The unlucky 113. 1487, 111. The Nelsons, whatever they are.
Yeah, I think 113 is Australia.
Australia, yes. 111 is
England.
England, yes. The Nelsons. And good old umpire Shepherd, if you remember him, would be hopping and skipping all over the place. Certainly a character. Good old umpire Shepherd.
Another single to Smith that takes him on to 25 at the end of 14 overs, 114 for 4. St. Patrick's, I would think, looking probably to get maybe over the 160 mark. Smith, just a bit on Smith in terms of tests, 43 tests, 1,760 runs, average of 23.8. He had 47 one-days, 1,059 runs, average 24.6. And first class, quite a lot of runs in first class, 217 matches, 14,681. Really have been a prolific opening batsman, 39.8. And just 36 T20s, and this is a game I think he has not done as well. 642 run, 20.1. So you look back at the amount of runs he has scored, really has been tremendous.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be quite a bit of time to get the fields right. Here is Lewis outside the off stump and smash through extra cover. It will go close to the boundary. In fact, it goes across the boundary for 4. So the fielder coming across from the deep cover boundary couldn't get across in time to do the fielding. It was struck well. And Smith continues to goes merrily on. He's on 29, 118 for 4. Olive is on 1, so I think beginning to just press the accelerator, Crony.
Yes, just open it up a bit in the air, but he picked the gap and he hit it well. Went down to the boundary for 4. Now we see the strengthening of the side field. We see 3 players back. Squarish cover, and a long off. All back on the boundary. He's looking to pull this one. Not getting hold of it. Just past George, who is in that short fine leg position. But not getting hold of that shot again. Looking for the mid-wicket boundary. one more, and just seeming that he seeming now look to up the tempo.
Shot. And also, the ball may have passed pretty close to the leg stump, bouncing away just coming off the inner portion of the bat.
Yeah, the hills, that Dabo Hill, just looking a little bit dark, but I think that area they probably would be just passing us.
I beg to differ. This is the western side, this is the northern side, so this is where we're seeing most of the clouds.
Yeah, just seem to be, well, probably behind us.
Yeah, behind us, yeah, very much behind us.
It's 119 for 4 into the 15th over. Devon Smith on 30. John Oliver on 1 into strike as Lewis comes around the wicket, and this one is split. It's a short third man. Slow the delivery by Lewis. I think well read by Olive. As we're looking for the expansive drive, had to adjust and push it down to that short third man for 1. His score moves to 2.
Lewis will have certainly learned from the experience this morning where Athanaze was able to use pace and now beginning to just take pace off the ball, which is what is needed, what is necessary, and what is really working in the shorter form of the game these days.
Yeah, it's so necessary that you have to use real variation in a shorter version of the game. We are seeing a West Indian bowler, captain in Pollock, really been doing that very well, using the slower deliveries, pitching it wide, slow ones, batsmen playing too early. Maybe that have not been used too much in this tournament. We haven't seen it used much in this tournament. But again, it goes on to experience and having a good understanding of the game. This is down to the extra cover boundary for another single to Smith.
Very interesting field set, Crony.
Yeah, I think the field is properly set, particularly on the offside, and the bowler is aiming to bring the ball right up. So just giving him one opportunity, and that's to play the drive down to extra cover, or long off, or square cover. So it's a good ploy.
Let's just back one side and bowl to that side of the wickets.
We haven't been seeing too much of that, which is so necessary. Good field placement by St Andrews.
There's a delivery again, not time, but to get on the bounce to get it over the hands of Lewis, and it goes bouncing away down towards long on. Picks up another single to Olive. Olive is on 3. Smith is on 31. He comes at the end of the what is over number 15. So 5 to go. 122 for 4, and a projection, Tony.
I still think they will be hoping to get to 160. We have 5 overs to go to 122, and they certainly will want to get over 150. Will be a little disappointed if it doesn't get up to 160. 38 and 5 overs, I think is highly possible. Just 4 wickets down. So they would really try to push on the score, but have been a good over by Lewis. He has bowled 2 overs for 24. Really, that have been a better over.
How much the eventual total will depend on Devon Smith. Well, it's left to be seen.
George, where's this one gone? Down to cover on the boundary for 1. Dana George, just a bit really overcast. Not as bright as it were as we look at the Dabo Hills.
Yes, still a little darker since we talked.
A bit darker. But no movement by the groundsman. So
this clouds too seems to be drifting towards the west, which is a good sign.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's probably going to move away, maybe pass behind us.
Yeah,
which is good. Again, a beautiful view. Cameramen really following every aspect of this game. Facility every space. Are we able to pick up our listeners or viewers who have a good idea of really what is happening at the National Stadium here in Grenada?
Of course, Look, beyond that hills, of course, is the village of Fontenoy, which, of course, to a number of very good national cricketers would have emerged from.
Yeah, we had the likes of Frederick Jones as one of the national cricketer.
One of the best timers of the ball.
Coming from that parish. Really stubborn cricketer.
I've heard that Frederick will score a century before lunch and
yeah, a very good player. He scores a lot of runs in the St. George's competition. At that time, you're talking first division, second division, and even intermediate.
Yes.
He have done very well. I think he played for Autumns, if not mistaken.
Delivery just full outside the off stump and maybe not dealt with as it should. Olive not willing to come onto the front foot, where he should have been probably, and looking to stroke the ball straight down the ground. Said he was sort of pulling away and only managed to dig it out in the end on the onside where the fieldsman came across to do the fielding.
Yeah, a good sensible bowling by Daniel Georgie, just keeping the ball right up. And I think one has to give the captain of the Annie Matthew, the captain of St. Andrew's team. This one is hit beautifully through a chuck about for 4. Again, over pitch. This is a shot you're looking for the
previous delivery. Yes.
This one he waited, and you could see he sort of waited, slow delivery, and hit it well, hit it very hard, and picked the gap, and it went down to the boundary very quickly for 4. But just making the point, I think the way that Anil Matthew would have handled the St. Andrews team, I think he has done a tremendous job. And if you look around at the captains for this tournament, he really would stand out,
yes,
in terms of the work he's doing. You look at his field placement, I think it's really good. Certainly has done a great job.
Yes, this is more like what I expected from Olive earlier, when he really was pulling away and not stroking the ball down the ground. But this time, full delivery just around off stump and struck it down towards long off. Picked up a single, 129 for 4, in over number 16. So whatever it is, they should get in excess of 150, and that will certainly make for a good chase later on this evening. Oh, beautiful. Just waited on it and just opened the face of the bat and almost taking it off the glove of the wicketkeeper, Devon Smith, and some really what you call deft touch by Smith there.
Yeah, good shot. He waited really and steered it really fine. Probably where first slip just probably would be to the left of the first, where first slip would be placed, and it went down to the boundary for 4.
And it was so well timed. It kept and and this is something, Grooney, we talk a lot about some of the former players who would just touch the ball basically and have the fieldsman chasing after it right onto the ropes, and as they almost bend down to pick it up, the ropes appear and the ball crosses the line.
Yeah, it speaks a lot about your timing.
Yeah.
Not always the brute force, but the timing.
Yes.
But again, Justin, as we end the 16th over, 133 for 4. I just want to comment in terms of what I'm seeing from the captain of the St. Andrews team, and Matthew. I think he really is on the ball, and you look at his offside field, really well set field. Lewis continues around the wicket, and good delivery again. He's looking to steer it.
Probably beaten for pace, or maybe a bounce. Maybe the ball may have bounced a little more than he anticipated. Almost essayed a bat at it, and the end it passed pretty close to the bat on his way through to the keeper. So good bowling by Lewis. It was straight. He didn't have room to freeze arm, and just going across the chest. So he haven't shown the type of aggression, Lewis, that we probably were expecting.
This one is hit straight. Let's see where this goes. Didn't get hold of it.
And he's out.
The mid-off coming around and taking a catch.
And
I think it was the right shot to play. He really didn't get hold of it. Probably in his position. We probably look to see if it was a slower delivery. But he was looking to hit straight, which was good. Yeah, slower delivery.
Yeah, just the back of the arm and
Slower delivery. Yeah.
didn't quite get hold of it. And went high in the air, and the fielder came across and took a relatively good catch in the end. As it went high, when those balls go that high, sometimes it looks simple, but well, not much of a breeze to have it swollen around at the moment, but it still has to be taken.
It's 133 for 5, and we are in the 17th over. And Sherman Lewis coming back there, picking up a wicket. Really, second spell just seemed to be somewhat different. Is what we expect from him. We saw a quick delivery that just passed the edge, and this one slower delivery, and Olive having to reach for it, was not able to hit it, get the time in, and it went high, and the fielder on the long off boundary is coming in, had enough time, settle on it, take a simple catch.
So the two veteran players at the crease, Marlon Henry has now joined Devon Smith, and this two will probably look and want to take it to the end. 5 wickets down, 133. There is Lewis. Oh, and Smith
is
goes
hitting this
with
one. We pitched up and over backward square for 6. It'll be interesting to see this shot there. Seemingly pitch around. We'll have a look at it. Probably somewhere around middle and leg, and he really pick it up really sweetly.
Well, you have to blame the bowler for this. It was not the kind of line the captain, I'm sure, would have wanted him to bowl. Like maybe just about off stump. Look, he has to be a little bit wider than that to force Smith to go towards the offside, where there is, 6 players on the offside.
Yeah, what's not a bad delivery. I think the line, as you said, I think was off. It was a delivery probably pitching around middle and leg and coming in to the batsman. The length wasn't bad. I think he picked it up, on the volley.
I still believe with the field that is set, he need to be a little bit full and a little bit maybe wider than that. You can't bowl on the stump at all.
Yeah.
It
was a good shot.
Well, that's what he's trying to do now. This is what he should have been aiming to do. As I said, that the field is placed for that, is set for that. And even if sometimes you bowl wide, it's probably more acceptable than drifting onto the stumps or onto the pad or the leg of the batsman and having them be able to, because there would be a lot of space out on the onside with the 6 men on the offside.
So Devon Smith, 42, 26 deliveries, 3 4s and 3 6s. And he's looking to clip this one down to square leg.
Well, this is probably a better length, just back of a length, and not high enough for Devon to think, just in that awkward area, awkward height for him, and looking to tuck it through the onside again and not making contact.
So we have 3 more overs after this one. We're in the 17th over, 140. So definitely you should get over 160.
Which will take some getting. Slow ball it seems, and Smith having to wait for it, and in the end probably just coming off what is the maybe the glove, a combination of glove, a bat and glove, and dropping away on the offside. But he gets a single, take him on to 43, 141 for 5. Marlon Henry, who is not yet faced and will not be facing for this, in fact will be facing his first delivery now, in fact, from Lewis.
Yeah, 141 for 5, and really there's runs on the board. And the right-handed Marlon Henry comes into strike. Sherman Lewis goes over the wicket. So pleasing to see that over the hills is looking a lot clearer. This one is hit down to long off, and the ambles a single. That will conclude the 17th over. St. Patrick's 142 for 5. Devon Smith on 43. Marlon Henry just off the mark to 1. And the wicket so far, Wavell Benjamin, he was bowled by Rogers for 16. Alick Athanaze was caught by Daniel. McDonald bowled Rogers for 57. Dennis Smith Stump Matthew bowled Daniel McDonald for 10. Devon Smith is 43 not out. Denoy Charles or Scott McDonald bowled by Daniel McDonald for 1. John Olive, Scott McDonald bowled Sherman Lewis for 9. Marlon Henry is on 1. 17 completed overs. St. Patrick's was asked to take 4 strikes. St. Andrews winning the toss. They are 142 for 5, and we're looking at Kavem Hodge, who has so far bowled 2 overs, no maiden, 17 runs, no wicket. So he's coming in for his 3rd over, and just making sure that fielders are placed in the right position. For Henry, mid on, fairly wide, mid wicket on the boundary, long on the boundary. Just 3 players on the leg side. And short third man, point, cover, mid off. This ball is played to mid off. Rogers doing the fielding. And then we have long off McDonald on the boundary, and again he's driving, bouncing out the covers. Rogers moving around, and there's 1 more to score, 143, and Henry moves to 2. Left-handed Devon Smith comes into strike.
I think what he'll have to do is to try at least to get Devon on strike most of the time, as often as he can. Try to push the ball, rotate the strike, and Devon, the man who set, is on 43. And I think if they're going to get maybe another 30, 40 runs, most of it will have to come off the bat of Devon Smith.
Yeah. Smith would be really important in terms of what the final score looks like. This is short, and this one is hit down to cover. Good shot, went down to the boundary for 4. It just seemed there as though the fielder on the boundary just seemed to have really misjudged that. I think it looked pretty closer than it seems as we look at the replay there, and hit down to cover. Yeah, a bit Bishop again, a bit slow, moving across went across the rope for another 4.
It's well timed though. It went across pretty quickly, and Bishop just didn't have a chance. Hodge just giving Smith too much room, and then so much room on this occasion that the umpire has to stretch his arms out.
Smith on 48.
148.
This one is hit down to cover. Good stop there.
Not getting the placement on this occasion.
Again, one must commend the field placement. Look at the offside field. Really good field placement there. This ball was hit hard. He had to really do well.
He stumped.
And he's really stumped. Beautiful
bowling. Out Fox there by Hodge. Bowled it very, very wide indeed. And one could have seen maybe that was the intention, was the previous delivery. I'm probably just laughing with Smith saying that, oh yeah, I got you this time.
I certainly enjoyed that. A wide delivery. Let's look at it. And Smith coming down the track, he pushed it a little bit wider. And really Smith was in no man's land. And really would have really laughed at that. Certainly it was good bowling. Devon Smith stumped off the bowling and Hodge for 47. Again, good wicket at this stage. He was really looking to push on, but one had to come in again. The field placement has been tremendous by Anil Matthew, and really have kept things pretty tightly. 149 for 6 is already runs on the board. 2 overs, probably another 15 runs. They're probably really happy to get another 15 runs.
And in a finals, it's difficult to tell what is a good total in a final. Most times, sometimes teams put runs on the board, and you tend to think that maybe, you just seen a little really dark up there. We haven't seen any actual rain yet. We haven't seen the grounds folks making any moves, so it's pretty okay. Just that now the heavy cloud that we were seeing earlier has seemed to have drifted, and we're just seeing now that greyish cloud, which is doesn't seem as dark as the previous cloud.
Yeah, just looking a bit lighter on the heels. Let's hope that it will continue to get lighter as Hodge and this Dennis George beaten outside the off stump again, looking to hit down the backward point. Really good field placement. Really impressed with what I'm seeing from Adil Matthew. Look, he's now really thinking. He's strengthening that position. If you're going to attack the off stump, this is where you have to bowl. And he put that fielder into position. Really good field placement. Really, I think it's the best I really would have seen of all the captains. This one is hit straight to the fielder, but good running.
They'll get a second.
They will get a second.
So 150 has come up. 151 for 6. And any total, Crony, I think above 150 in a 2020 game, you will have to think that the batting team has a chance.
Yeah, 115 minute 83 deliveries. I think it's really been good going for St. Patrick's, having to get up to 150 with still 2 overs remaining. They would want to push on, probably add an next 15 for the next 2 overs. But having lost important wicket of Devon Smith, St. Andrews will feel that really they can keep it tight for the next 2 overs. As we looking at Sherman Lewis, he's going to complete his spell in his 4th over. So far 1 for 33. They go bowling to Marlon Henry. Once again, an offside field. 2 fielders, 3 fielders on the boundary, long off, cover, and interesting position, a point on the boundary. Now the cover, yes, going to cover. And he's driving again, and this one to go down to the boundary for a good shot. Yeah. And he beat that shot, third man. And the point boundary, and there was a bit square. And he was able to pick up that boundary there. Good shot by Henry.
Yes, not looking to hit it too hard, just waiting on the delivery, opening the face of the bat enough to get it in the gap and away from the George, who had to chase away to the boundary but couldn't pull it back. It was timed well enough to go for 4, so 155 for 6. So.
And as you said, Justin, he didn't look to hit it too hard. He just timed it. Now we see that backward point is placed finer. And Henry kind of using his feet there, looking to, I think, get over that cover fielder. So there is a gap between long off and the cover fielder. If you could clear the cover, big gap there to get to the boundary.
One could have heard him grunting, probably saying if he had stayed his ground, probably he may have stood a better chance of executing the shot.
Yeah, good adjustment in the field placing. Backward point going finer. Again, he's looking to swing and not taken cleanly by Matthew. Again, the ball just seemed to be staying down and dropping short. But he has done a pretty good job behind the wicket. 156. Dennis George just asking for a Midland leg stump guard.
Dennis, of course, is not he's not a rabbit with the bat. He has scored important runs in his career so far.
As we see, again the focus really would be on the off stump as Sherman Lewis is coming around the wicket. Left-handed Dennis George. And this one he hit down to backward point, not timing, and he could be in trouble here now.
Run out.
And
yes.
he's run out.
But Marlon should have gone. They could have crossed for a single, I think, Rooney. I think it was really Marlon's fault. Well, Marlon wasn't going from the start, and George insisted that there should have been a single, which I don't know. They may have been able to make it.
At this stage, you had to be backing up, and I think if he actually really was backing up, he would have made it because the ball was not fielded cleanly. he had a drop and so forth. But I just think that Henry decided early that he's not going to run, and therefore George was left really far from the ground. It was an easy run out. So St. Patrick's had lost their 7th wicket. It's 156 for 7. Dennis George run out for 2.
And George, we know, who prides himself on his batting too, and always wanting to make a contribution, will be very disappointed that it had to happen this way.
I know that he wouldn't be happy. I tell you, probably gonna tell Henry, give Henry 2 words when he comes out.
Yeah.
156 for 7. We are in the 19th over. Davis Charles, the right-handed Davis Charles, comes in to strike.
So St. Patrick might be in danger of not actually pushing on as much as they should have at this stage with the loss of those wickets.
Yeah, as I said before, this 160 I would think they would be looking for, would be disappointed. This one is hit down to long off by Charles. That's one more. Beautiful view once again, Justin, of National Stadium. We see at the back the Football Association office, Peach Building.
Yes, and of course the gravel and concrete mines, and of course the double hills coming around to the laundry, and the Grenada Standard Bureau buildings and so on, all of those.
This was to go down to the boundary for 4. Henry again looking to charge, give himself room, comes off the edge and fly down to vacant third man, and he pick up another 4. Good way to end that 19 over, as we see here, given the room, and you want to avoid that, given room. You want to bring it, have it close and right up. Henry was afforded the opportunity to swing freely. And it went up there, down to third man for 4.
Yeah, well, it's one of the shots that you very rarely see being defended. And yes, we continue. Of course, this white area is seen on the right of your screen. That's the gravel and concrete mine, you know. And of course, you're seeing the houses just spattered through, and a good network of roads in between. So very nice. The power plant, power distribution plant over there, and of course, yes, the Grenlec, and of course the Chinese section quarters there.
Well, we even seen our practice nets right at the back there.
Of that, yes.
With that black you're looking at there, that's
the power generating plant.
This one is hit to mid off. We are in the 20th over, 161 for 7. Charles facing the last over, ball by Kavem Hodge, so far 1 for 26.
161 is he?
And again hit to mid off, and this time
should be home easily.
Good running, really good running by Henry. He was quick off the mark. But Hodge giving this a lot of air. Yeah, so the batsman waiting on it and not being able to pick the gap.
We've
going
had
straight to the field.
We've had many. Did we have any successful chase over 160 crony through the tournament so far?
No, we haven't. We hadn't much score over 160.
Yeah.
We haven't had much score over 160. We had 2 scores over 150 chase down yesterday.
Yeah.
This is sort of score, you know, you're looking for finals, you know, and this one is down the track and hitting. Let's see down to cover, just dropping short of the fielder. Another single to Henry.
Yes, so he's on 11, 163 for 7. 3 balls to go. Could get up to 170. Oh.
Yeah, giving a lot of air.
Smart bowling by Hodge, because these low order batsmen will not use their feet too much, will not get 2 deliveries like that very easily. You'll usually stand the ground and have a swing. And I think maybe we may see maybe two of the same. Now this time just a little shorter and struck harder towards Lewis there. And he's holding on to the ball as he crossed for another single. So one to go, one ball to go, 164 for 7. So we may see a 6 to end it.
Well, they will be happy to do that, but certainly it's the kind of score I think St. Patrick's can feel pretty comfortable with. As I said, the start they had, I expected maybe 160 or even up to 180. They are 164, so I think they will feel a bit satisfied.
Right.
Probably 10-15 runs short.
Going down the leg side clearly, and so extra will end the innings. And so as we come to the end of the 20 overs, St. Patrick will probably feel that he has the noses in front. 165, but these are runs that St. Andrew will have to get, and I don't think it will be easy going. In fact, there will be a lot less pace to work with from St. Patrick, and one left to be seen how these are dealt with.
Yeah, you're certainly right. 165 for 7. As Justin, just a look at the venue, and you speak about the network of roads we have, and we can both say in Grenada of a beautiful network of roads. I think you look at the region, the Windwards in particular, we are ahead in terms of our network. I mean, you can cross from any end. There's a blockage in one area. There's so many other areas that you can pass. But this is all around the National Stadium.
Yes, of course. We've seen also the housing scheme area. That's up at Mongay. Up in that area, just going past the area where we call Mount Rush.
Yeah, and I think certainly they would be probably going to try and bring that a little closer so to see the housing scheme. Just to let you know, St. Patrick's been sent into bat. There's 165 for 7. They were sent into bat by St. Andrews, who won the toss. Weevil Benjamin, he was bowled by Rogers for 16. He faced 17 deliveries and hit 1-4-1-6. Alick Athanaze caught Daniel McDonald, bowled by Rogers, 57. 31 deliveries, 51 minutes. He hit 5 fours and 4 sixes. Dennis Smith stumped Anil Matthew, bowled Daniel McDonald for 10. 13 deliveries, 12 minutes, and he hit 2 fours. Devon Smith stumped Matthew, bowled by Hodge, 47. 30 deliveries. 41 minutes, 4 fours, 3 sixes, and certainly we do have, I think, Kerry's on the ground. We know turnover to Kerry.
We here at the mid-innings break with Devon Smith, the today mid-order batsman for St. Patrick's. Devon, first of all, must relish this opportunity to come and represent your home parish in this tournament.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to represent my parish. I think we have a good bunch of guys, and we're always looking forward, to the challenge.
Today, we see again a good start from Athanaze and Benjamin. Certainly have laid a good foundation for you guys 2 days in a row.
Yeah, I think the foundation is the key. You can build on that once you have a good foundation. So you just have to keep the momentum and try and get as much as possible.
All right, you got 47. Happy with that knock?
Yeah, I'm happy with 47, but having said that, it doesn't really matter if you get 47 or 50, so I'm saying, as long as my team get the total that we're looking for, that was important.
We also see a mini rivalry there between you and your good friend Kavem Hodge. He was responsible for your wicket happy. Was it Hodge that dismissed you off the stump?
Yeah, Hodge. He's a smart bowler, smart cricketer in general. I thought he would bowl a faster one again, but having said that, he bowled a still ball, so it tricked me. But having said that, I think we 15 runs short of a total we was looking for, compared to the start we get. Yeah,
you did say about 15 runs short, finishing on 165, a good start again. But do you think it's enough that you guys are certainly a quality and skill bowling attack? Think enough to defend?
Yeah, I think we have a decent total enough to go there, and that's the highest total for the tournament, for the entire tournament. So I think with the kind of bowling we have, we should go there and defend that total.
All right, you being a senior player who's been around for a while, played at highest level, coming back here. What are your thoughts on this tournament, seeing young players getting an opportunity to showcase their talents across the world?
I think it's a good opportunity for a lot of youngsters, to come here and showcase their talent, because of the COVID, a lot of things have been changed, But having this tournament and everybody's seeing, the kind of talent we have in Grenada. it's a plus for us.
All right, well, Devon, congratulations on your knock and all the best to St. Patrick's for the rest of the match.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that was Devon Smith, the middle order batsman today for St. Patrick's, 47 in helping them set 165 in their 20 overs.
Well, interesting, Justin. He said that it's 15-run short, and really, so I've also of the view that 180 would have been the score they were looking at. But as he said, I think St. Patrick do have the bowling to really defend that. But just to complete the score card I was given there, John Olive, he was caught by Donald McDonald bowled Sherman Lewis. He scored 9 deliveries, 18 minutes, hit 1-4. Henry not out 11. Dennis George run out for 2, just facing 3 deliveries. Davis Child not out 3. A total of 165 for 7. Dubisset 2 overs, none for 22. Hodge 4 overs, 1 for 29. Sherman Lewis 4 overs, 1 for 42. Richard Rogers had 2 for 10 and 4 overs. Daniel McDonald had 2 for 34. Dana George 2 overs and none for 26. St. Patrick's, St. Andrews would have really pulled things back when you look at the start that they had to get them for 165.
Well, yes, but the unknown is what is going to happen in the next 20, because it's a team chasing what is. What is interesting is that in the final game of the tournament, you have a team chasing the highest total to win a game here in the tournament, and of course it's an unknown. So until the both teams would have used the pitch, and we probably cannot tell how well a bigger total, a gooder total that was. And when you're setting a total, you never sometimes to show us what a good total may be.
Yeah,
to chase on the pitch.
Yeah, it would be challenging, and this is the kind of finals you're looking for. As we look at the fall of some of the wickets, and we look at some of the highlights, Teddy Bishop, they just not get into that open catch. But the beauty of Athanaze, the brilliance of Athanaze, as you look at him play shots. Yes, it's the kind of finals you expecting. Where teams going to come out and probably give their best performance. I think 165 is the most runs scored by St. Patrick's, the biggest total. And what other time you want to have that? But your finals, and they will go out with some confidence, and as Smith would have said, based on their bowling attack, which really banks on a lot of spin. Certainly they will go out with, I think, more confidence, feeling that they have a good foundation.
Yes, indeed. Well, we will wait to see what type of reply St. Andrew will post. So until that,
we just about I do believe that it won't be long before we have the resumption of play. The St. Patrick's players just doing the warm-up, and just getting ready to go out. The condition continue to be a bit cloudy, but certainly we expect quite a keen contest as we look to resume. Well, we are graced by the presence of President of Grenada Cricket Association, and also one of the director of the Windwards Islands board, even the West Indies board. Dwayne Gill, we so happy to have you this evening. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Rafael, and we're just hoping that the weather holds so that we can have perhaps a very exciting finish or finale. We've seen some pretty good cricket over the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's all for the two teams to play for now.
Yeah, certainly. Looking back at the tournament, you must be pleased in terms of, maybe you can give us an indication of maybe some of the challenges even before this tournament comes on. And you look at the tournament, you certainly should be, I imagine, very pleased with the things that went.
Yeah, well, we are happy because the whole idea was that, because of the situation with the COVID and the protocols and whatnot, not much sports is being played at this time. So we had the opportunity to really bring 90 players together at one venue, and we would have preferred to spread it out, use the various cricket venues across the country, Progress Park, Jess, and others. But because of the circumstances, we were kind of forced to more or less come to the National Stadium, similar to what we've done with the Super 50 tournament, which we had last year. So it was important to get the players out there. There hasn't been much going on in terms of cricket, so we are just happy that they're able to play some competitive cricket, and we want to continue giving them that opportunity. We expect at some point things can go back to some semblance of normalcy, but at this point it's just a matter of giving them the opportunity to play a few matches.
Yeah, and you must have been pleased with the support of the parishes. I know it have been a challenge for some of the parishes, but the fact that all the parishes on the mainland were able to be a part of the tournament, and to me, you have seen the interest in terms of the commitment of the parishes, probably would be pleasing to you.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the level of organization now, it's a lot better now than probably a couple years ago. And you must give credit to all of the parish reps, the presidents, the coaches, the managers, and also the players for organizing themselves, making their way to the stadium. The teams had to travel, long distances every weekend, twice a weekend, and there have been practice sessions, although it might have been limited sessions because of the whole situation. So we're happy that the parishes have really embraced this tournament, and we offer a small prize money, a small incentive. So it's something that we want to continue with the under 19s, which we will start later next week, and hopefully there's a lot of lessons learned for the parishes so that they can really push the cricket in their respective parish, the coaches and the managers and so on, to continue.
Yeah, and certainly you probably have an opportunity to look at some of the games, and would be interesting as you look at the parishes. Well, first of all, you look at some of the organization of the parishes. Are you pleased? You think there's quite a bit of work to do in terms of restructuring? I know that really the foundation of a cricket lies with the parishes in terms of how they are structured, how they develop the cricket. Your view in terms of what you have seen?
Yeah, well, you're right. The Greater Cricket Association is really about the parishes, and the strength of the parish councils would really determine the strength of Grenada's cricket. Coming out of this tournament, we've seen some emerging talent. We've seen a lot of young players come to the fore. You look outside here now and you see young Teddy Bishop.
Yeah, well, certainly I wanted to get to that, but you on it already. So we'll talk about that, because obviously you will be there with us while the game starts back. Hoping that you would spend some time, we'll talk about it. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. So we it's really the parishes that have to be as strong as possible. We got some sponsorship for the parishes in terms of the uniforms. If you check around, the uniforms are sponsored by Stonehill out of Pakistan.
Yeah, how challenging it was to get that, because certainly that's a big part of what you have seen when you look at the players out there, and what is being shown as we see the beginning of the St. Andrews inning. First, Iman Alexander picks up the attack from this northern end, and he's bowling. Opening the bowling, and Anil Matthew taken first strike. St. Andrews looking to get to 166 for victory. Again, keeping it tightly, played to extra cover, and there's no chance of a run. But critical spin will be against the St. Andrews batters. As left arm around the wicket, and again, good delivery, no room. And Matthew is cautious. We saw St. Andrews batting and the explosive start with the semi-finals game yesterday. I think both batsmen were really positive, but today, having spin opening the bowling, probably we expect it to be a little bit tighter.
Yeah, it's going to be a different challenge now with the left-arm orthodox spin of Iman Alexander bowling to the two right-handers. Yesterday was a different proposition. You had medium pace, and the opening batsmen were a lot more comfortable against the medium pace.
And good delivery, good line. Alexander really suffered. I think he had some problem with one of his left wrist. You can see it bandaged there, and his bowling hand, the left, today seemed to be a bit better. Yesterday he would have bowled 4 overs for 43, which is not. You wouldn't look at Alexander the way he bowls and attribute that sort of runs coming off his 4 overs. But he completes first over, maiden over. And a good start for St. Patrick's.
Yeah, a good start for St. Patrick's. So if you want to get back to the issue of the tournament and I was saying that the Stonehill has sponsored, it's in the region of $24,000 worth of uniforms, and we're thankful to them. And what came out of this, we saw the parishes designing logos and whatnot. Some of them didn't have it before. So what we want is a situation where the parishes can, in the future, perhaps they have your own colors and your own logos and caps and so on, and you want to do that for the under 15s, the under 19s, and the women's teams as well. So this is a start, and we're hoping that can continue. On the question of sponsorship, I just want to thank the National Lotteries Authority, because without them, this tournament perhaps would not have been possible. As you know, Raphael, we've offered small prize monies, $4,000 for the winner. We have prize monies down to the 5th and 6th place teams. Second place team, $2,500 and so on. A lot of the teams are not really playing for the money. They're happy to just play, some level of cricket. But at least there's something to play for. In the past, we haven't had much prize money. It's a good shot here by Teddy Bishop, straight. Well, not necessarily straight, but over long off, one of his trademark shots.
He continues in the same vein, as this one, as we see, he tossed up a bit and really hit straight over long off for 6. And I was commenting with the inning that we saw from Bishop yesterday. He's not a big guy, not really a strong hitter, but his positioning and his timing, and really hit this with ease over long off for 6. We saw it with Athanaze today. These are not strong guys, but really they time the ball sweetly because of the position they seem to be getting into. And certainly is a good shot by Bishop.
Yeah, and Teddy is one who trains every day at the stadium with the Windwards Volcanoes, and he's probably trains twice a day sometimes, because he's another under 19 West Indies under 19 program supervised by Clyde Telesford locally. So he's in good nick.
Another superb shot off his back foot, hit it down to backward point. Really getting into really good position. A short delivery, and was given the right treatment.
And that's one of his favorite shots, the cut shot. We saw yesterday against the faster bowlers, he had some runs through that backward point position. Here now with the off spinner, he just gave himself some room and bisected the 2 fielders into the boundary for 4. So he's really batting well. Teddy Bishop seems to favor the offside, the drive over long off, and now the cut behind backward point. So let's see what he does with this delivery from Davis Charles. Again, that favorite cut shot of his. I was mentioning, Crony, that Teddy, he trains every day. He's one of the players identified by Cricket West Indies to more or less prepare for the under 19 setup or the under 19 team. He was part of the last cohort, didn't make the final 15, but was in fact in the 18-man squad. And here's another drive straight over his head, and it's also a no ball. And Teddy Bishop is looking quite good here. Another 6 to him, and also a free hit signal by umpire Rupert Holas. And that's a full toss, and those balls sometimes can create problems, but Teddy just hit straight and over the boundary for 6.
That's a beauty. He hits straight. He didn't try to do anything foolish, hit across the line, but you can see him hitting straight. And this one, he goes straight again, and this one seemingly will drop 1 bounce into the boundary. So he continues in the same vein, but really making use of deliveries that need to be put away, and that's a difference in terms of his batting. All his shots he would have played in this over was good shots, hitting way over long off, over the long off fielder and went down to the boundary for another 4.
Well, the thing about it, he's trying to hit the ball straight. So I think that's one of the features of his batting. Also, Davis Charles, you have to describe it as uncomplicated spin. Not much turn coming around the wicket, and Bishop just hitting straight back over his head.
But the long one is placed back to the boundary, and this one is pushed down to long one. And Bishop pick up another single. Certainly has been a good over by St. Andrews, making quite a positive start, trying to get up to that total of 165 for victory. Just going back to what we were discussing in regards to the uniform, how challenging. I mean, having a sponsorship 24,000 uniforms for all the parishes probably has been some hard work. I mean, using maybe all the areas to get you to that sponsorship, or difficult.
It's always difficult. This is sponsorship not in cash but in kind, and I said 24,000, so people feel that it's cash, but it's really in terms of the uniforms. But it's always difficult sponsorship for these tournaments, especially in these times. And we are just happy that we're able to run off this tournament. And Fakuni, he's stumped. Stumped.
Yeah, big wicket again. He says this time he down the track again, looking for the big hit. And maybe that's the only area you could fault him in. Maybe went aggressive, trying to get maybe too aggressive. There was no need. Good look in the hit. And Alexander being able to pick up that important wicket, missing there, and an easy stumping chance. And St. Patrick's certainly would be happy to see the back of Teddy Bishop.
It was a disappointing dismissal. Teddy probably premeditated, there. Imran Alexander, very crafty spinner. And the experience really counted there. Imran just angled the ball across Teddy. And, the keeper, Dennis Smith, perhaps the best keeper in the country, did the rest. So the game is on, Crony. I think it will come down to the wire. Of course, a lot would depend in terms of the batting team on Anil Matthew and also the new batsman, Kavem Hodge, as well as the McDonald brothers, Donald and Daniel. We also have Ogis. Darren Ed is also capable with the bat. On the other hand, the St. Patrick's team, really a spin-oriented attack, with Imran Alexander, and you have the danger man, Dennis George. He has the most wickets. So it's going to be pretty interesting, and let's see what Imran does when he bowls at Kavem Hodge.
Well, Kavem Hodge from Dominica, actually Windwards Volacones player, and has really played the first class level in the region, also been called on the test team. So certainly he's a player with a lot of experience. A lot will depend on him. And he's cutting beautifully down to backward point. Really waited on this one and hit it past the backward point fielder. And that one really raced down to the boundary for 4. Good positive start, as we see here. Not all that short, but played well. He got on top of it and really hit it down to the boundary for 4. Good shot by Hodge. Again, Dwayne, looking at the players, I think to get this tournament off and to get it obviously on stream on YouTube and maybe across the world, maybe sort of benefits to us. Maybe you can talk a little bit about this. And this one hit the backward point. Great catch. And that Athanaze that picked that up there at backward point. Hodge looking for the same shot. Was not able to keep it down. And really being snapped up at that backward point position. A good catch. And certainly I think that is a massive blow. And good dive and catch as he went full stretches left, taking with both hands.
Well, excellent catch by Athanaze, and that's his countryman. He really had to dive full length his left, both hands, and those would have to stick, and that one did. And that's the kind of catch, Crooney, that wins tournaments. Hodge, a very dangerous player at this level, And you know, I think he picked out the wrong man. Alick is one of the better fielders around in Windwards cricket, and I don't think Kavem thought that he was going to be going back to the pavilion. So very good cricket. We've seen some good catches. We've seen some good stroke play, some good bowling all together within the last 2 days. And now a lot of pressure would be on the new batsman. Looks like Ogis, along with Anil Matthew.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that these are sort of catches that win matches, and really catches win matches. We saw yesterday a catch, I don't know if you saw it, Teddy Bishop very early was led down on the third man boundary, and there and St. Davis was made to pay for that. And we see what catches, drop catches can cause, but as you said, it's the sort of catches that win matches. But important blue struck, and that's 2 important wickets picked up by St. Patrick's. And Alexander and his second over, and so to have picked up that important wicket, 2 important wickets. Yeah, just looking at the tournament, there's some players on show. There's some players I probably would want to highlight that really would have caught their eyes or probably been impressive. We look at the teams. We look at St. John's, St. George's, St. Patrick's, or even St. Andrews.
Yeah, well, if you want to start with these 2 teams here, the 2 teams that made the final, you know, certainly from the St. Patrick's perspective, I mean, Devon came in pretty late, and Alick as well. But even before that, we had Dennis Smith, who has been perhaps the batsman batting the most sensible in this tournament, and he has a level head, and he's batted pretty well in this tournament so far. And he's still relatively a young guy, and he's kept well. We saw Devoni Joseph playing for St. Patrick's as well, and he's also one of those under 19 prospects, and he didn't get much opportunity. I think he kept once in this game. But the St. Patrick's team has a lot of veterans, and you know, we saw the likes of Marlon Henry and Denroy Charles and Imon Alexander coming back. These are guys who represented Grenada from as far back as when we had the Stanford tournament, and it's good to see them coming back in and gelling with the young players. You know, you have players like Davis Charles, who was in and out of the team, but you know, they made contributions and so on. So there are quite a couple players there. In terms of the St. Andrew team, obviously Teddy Bishop is the one who really caught the eye of many. We knew about him from before. He was always one of our promising players, and Cooney, you probably are disappointed because he would have played for, or he played for St. David in the last couple of years at all levels. But in this tournament, he made a decision to play for St. Andrew, and it's worked for him. He got a chance to open the batting, and he's played pretty well. In the St. Andrew team, we saw glimpses of brilliance from Donald McDonald and also Daniel McDonald. And this one should go close to the boundary. It's cut off by Imon Alexander. They get 2 runs. So the McDonald brothers, they showed some promise without really getting any very big scores. And, you know, just coming in for the last 2 or 3 games or so, we had the left arm seamer Dana George, who was instrumental in that victory against, I think it was St. George. So he came in and did pretty well in the absence of Sherman Lewis, you know, who really didn't play all the games. So, I mean, both teams here, you know, there are some promising players there. Anil Matthew at the top of the order, he's done pretty well. If you look at some of the other teams, you had, for example, in the St. Mark team, you know, you had Kimani Milias from St. Lucia playing, and you had the experience of Ronald Etienne, but you had Nairon Belfon and Sunil Narain, who is one who's come through the youth system. He had a good half century in one of the matches, you know, and the St. Mark team was a good combination of youth and experience.
34 for 2, St. Patrick's, St. Andrews, trying to get to 165. We are in the 4th over. Ogis and 7. And Matthew not yet off the mark. Anil Matthew is 34 for 2, losing the wicket of of Teddy Bishop. He went for 21. And certainly the scoring rate is good, but having lost a wicket. Yeah, just continue with the players.
Yeah, I'm just going through the list of players, and Ogis, this one comes off the edge and will go into the boundary, a shot in the dark, you would have to say, but it runs on the board nevertheless, and the score moves on to
38.
Is it 38?
38 for 2.
For 2 in the fourth over, 3 overs and 4 balls. Yeah, so all of the teams, I would say, had some pretty good youngsters. The St. George team, you had Johan Jeremiah, who was perhaps one of the best opening batsmen in the tournament, along with Teddy Bishop. You know, he had some very good scores, and you know, there was some class about his batting. And Ogis goes over the top and over extra cover, the mid-off region, wide mid-off region, and another boundary for Ogis, and he's keeping the momentum here. The scoring rate is pretty good, Crony. 42 for 2 in 3.5. I think the issue there would be the wickets. Right? But certainly, you know, some good intent, positive intent here from Akeem Ogis.
Yeah, and just a look at the Volcano players. Those are involved in the franchise and so forth. I think the benefit of these players. Now we see Ogis really looking good, playing a pretty good shot over cover, and this one goes again. Let's see, does he get enough into it? Just able to get it to mid-off, and certainly again having hold out at mid-off again is a big blow. And just about to talk about the input of some of these players. Again, you can see him, they just losing it, the one of the hand coming off the bat there and not really getting it we want. I think you're a bit early into the shot. One hand coming off.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of inexperience from Ogis. He's still 17 years old, and that ball there, you know, perhaps really should have been looking for a single or so. He had gotten a couple boundaries in the over before, and there was no need really to try to go over the top. And credit to the bowler. He's put the ball in some good areas. The first boundary was a type of an edge, and you know, he came back strong there. And young Ogis, really, you have to describe it as, you know, what the the players who are not disciplined in terms of the batting would do. And we were just talking about the fact that, you know, we have a lot of young players now, and they seem to be coming of age. But you know, he's a young man, and you know. But this really puts St. Patrick on top now. The scoring rate is good for St. Andrew, but certainly with that third wicket down, I think the St. Patrick team now would be quite confident.
So Donald McDonald has the play across, and in Matthew pushes on the onside. But I think you spoke about players being sensible and level-headed. And I was just thinking, now we are getting some rain. Is now the rain just coming across the field. One hope that is not too serious. We are not seeing much movement with the ground staff. So we hope that it's probably just going to blow over. The score is 43 for 3. We are in over number 5. Matthew is on 1. Donald McDonald just come in, not yet off the mark. St. Patrick's having picked up 3 wickets for 43, and we are in the 5th over. Iman Alexander in his 3rd over. This is short. This is pulled down to mid-wicket, and George comes off the boundary. And one more to McDonald. He's actually off the mark. So Matthew just rain outside, looking very cloudy. With spinners is on, and certainly St. Patrick's just continue to just take a tight grip on the game at the moment.
Well, Coney, you know, it takes 5 overs to constitute a match, and this is the 5th over. It's pretty cloudy, but as you said, the ground staff not making much of a move. But if the match were to finish after this over, in terms of Duckworth Lewis, with the loss of 3 wickets, the par score would be 48, meaning that they would need 49 to win if they had lost 3 wickets at the end of 5 overs, and the score is now 45. So it's even Steven, according to Duckworth Lewis. Yeah, so I think the batting team, there's additional pressure now because you have to keep an eye on the weather. We've had some showers today. We've had some. It's been pretty cloudy, but we are lucky so far to have as much play as we've had. So after 5 overs, St Andrew 45 for the loss of 3, and according to Duckworth Lewis, the par score is 48. So at this point in time, if there was no play, it would mean that St. Patrick's would be ahead by about 3 runs. But it looks as though we'll get some more play in. We still have some time in the game, and we're hoping. We don't want this game to come down to Duckworth Lewis. We want to see a full 20 over game here. The 2 leading teams, because they would have qualified for the final. They qualified as 3rd and 4th in the round robin segment, but they beat the teams that finished 1st and 2nd. So these would be the best teams at this point in time. So we want the full 20 overs, and the danger man is on, Dennis George.
45 for 3, and this is 6 over, and wide signal by the umpire there as McDonald looking to hit this one somewhere over mid-wicket. Left-handed Dennis George. He's coming between the umpire, and this time he's again looking for the big shot. Just push it back along the wicket. It's 46 for 3, and over number 6. As the rain continue to fall just slightly. This one is played to mid-wicket. They run for 1. Just 1. St. Patrick's really is tightening the grip on this game. Yeah, down to the 6 over, 47 for 3. Looking at the tournament, being able to have it, I was making the point, being able to have it live, streaming live, and really through the world, sort of benefits, I mean, from Grenada cricket point of view?
Yeah, well, we wanted to give the players the exposure. We know that spectators are not allowed in the stands for this tournament. That's the regulations, and that's the only way the tournament could have been played. We would have wanted people to be here, but unfortunately that was not to be. So the next best option perhaps was to get his stream, and I must thank TNR Communications, because I've had several calls from people all across the West Indies, even across the world, about the quality of the stream. It's really fantastic work. This is top stuff. And we must give them credit for this. So I'm sure they're going to be getting a lot of calls in the future regarding live coverage of sports and other activities, because I think it's the way to go in these times now. We could not get the spectators in as we would like, but we have an audience, and we're happy that the players are exposed, and someone can see the likes of Anil Matthew, they can see a Johan Jeremiah, you can see a Alick Athanaze, or you can see a Wavell Benjamin who made some runs yesterday. So we're quite happy. It's a very expensive venture, but we're happy with the level of sponsorship we are getting by not only the National Lotteries Authority, but of course the Windwards Cricket Board, led by Dr. Kishore Shallow. They've made a contribution to this venture in the interest of getting cricket played in all of the islands, and all of the islands in the Windwards would have that opportunity to get some support from the Windward Islands Cricket Board. So we're quite happy, and all of our tournaments, we feel at least the final should be streamed. We have the Under 19 coming up shortly, sponsored by Republic Bank, and we hope to stream that final as well. Just about 5 or so teams participating, and it augurs well for the exposure of the players.
We into the 7th over. It's 48 for 3 after 6 overs. Iman Alexander is bowling his 4th over so far, 1 maiden, 9 runs, 2 wickets. So he will conclude his spell after this over. Donald McDonald on 2. Anil Matthew opened the batting is on 3. St Andrews 49 for 3. And he's looking to drive outside the off, so made no contact. But certainly I really agree with you in terms of the quality of the streaming. Got a couple calls myself from St. Vincent, and there seem to be a lot of followers, even as the US also. There's some of their former national players who have been following intensely. John Patrick and Ozzy Hall and Franklin Frederick, which is so encouraging in terms of the support and what we have heard about the streaming.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the you have the replays, you have, this is top stuff. This is international stuff, and we're happy it's happening in cricket. I guess there's a lot more sports. I don't want to be the marketing arm of that particular organization, but I know we have football coming up on Tuesday, and some of us would be glued to that stream as well. But we're happy to have their services, and we hope that can continue in the future.
Again, keeping it very tight is Iman Alexander, and we have seen a difference in terms of it bowling today. Yesterday wasn't one of the better days, but he's come back, and you can see really purposeful in terms of what he's trying to achieve in his 4th over, just going for 9 runs. Again, good effort there. You can see him dive in, even though he has a damaged hand. But he's the sort of player that's going to put 100, always 100%.
Yeah, he's a fighter. Even Alexander's a fighter, and you see him there, you see him grimacing, but he's there and he's still on the field, and that was some good work there. He even had an appeal in, But Crony, we gotta keep an eye on the weather. The groundsman Kevin Hodge was looking a bit nervous a while ago. And just to give the viewers an idea of the score where we are with Duckworth Lewis. So with 3 wickets down, the score is 49 in 7 overs. So after 7 overs with 3 wickets, the par score is 58. That's the tie, 58. And the St. Andrew team is now 49. So they're somewhere behind. The rain is it's drizzling, but I think we'll get a couple more overs in, and perhaps get all the overs in. So let's hope it does not come down to Duckworth Lewis, but that's just for the benefit of the viewers, just to give them an idea of where the team is, or where the teams are. And the thing is, St. Patrick's are using a lot of the spinners, so. And they are really finger spinners, so they should be able to get the overs in.
Davis Charles pick up the attack from that southern end. And first ball to Matthew is driven to cover. Dennis George in that position, and the score remain on 49 for 3. And now into the 8th over. I do believe that we will have the 20 overs. We have been having this sort of weather for quite a while. Yesterday wasn't a hot day. And probably we could just look at it on the 19th coming up. Maybe if you could give us some little info on the 19th tournament coming up later on this week.
Well, we're just looking to close the deal, but the plan is to start on Wednesday. It's the Right Start GCA on the 19 Cup. There's an appeal from Dennis Smith and the bowler as well, just putting some pressure on Anil Matthew. So 49 for 3 in the 8th over. So yes, Crony, we plan to start the under 19 tournament. We will have just about the 5 parishes. And I must mention something here in case the viewers are wondering about the absence of Karakou from this particular tournament. And it was a challenge, and while we try to do what we can do to have Karakou in chance of a run out here, but the throw is a little bit off. Yeah, so while we look at the possibility of having Karakou in, It just logistically wasn't possible with the new COVID protocols. These days you can't have 2 and 3 people in the same room sleeping together and whatnot, unless they're the same family. And it would have taken a lot in terms of maybe deviating from the protocols, and that is something we did not want to do. So unfortunately we did not have Karakou for this particular tournament, but going forward for these tournaments, of course, Karakou has become, a regular participant in our tournaments, despite the costs involved in having teams come to Grenada and so on. And the same would apply to the under-19 starting this week. While we'd have liked to have Karakou, unfortunately we are not able to do so this time, especially with the under-19 players, where there's an additional duty of care.
51 deliveries, 31 minutes as we conclude the 8 over. St. Andrews, they are 51 for 3. Remembering that they need to get up to 165 for victory.
Yeah, so so we have the 5 teams. St. John wouldn't have a team, but we have the other teams involved. And as I said, we just waiting on one last thing to really officially announce that particular tournament, which will start on Wednesday. And we've had permission from the Ministry of Health to go ahead with that tournament under similar conditions, where all of the matches would be at the stadium. We're not in a position to stream all of those matches. We hope to do the final, and hopefully if we have some more sponsors coming on board, we may be able to do a couple other matches. And Crony, sponsorship is so critical. We keep saying about the quality of streaming, and if you're happy with it and you would like to see more of it, I mean, certainly we welcome any level of sponsorship. So we're able to do that to bring, to expose Grenadian cricketers to the rest of the world.
Yeah, we hope that there are some persons listening outside. Not only they expose the cricketers, but obviously the country. I think we have been fortunate today that there was some views we were able to talk about some of the locations in Grenada, and a lot more can be done. So, yeah. One more to the score, 52 for 3 in the 9th over. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're hoping that everyone sees the benefit of taking that cricket to the whole world. Especially those in the diaspora. We know you've missed home, you've missed cricket, and we're happy to bring it to you. But if it has to continue, we're still hoping that you can give us a call at the Greater Cricket Association, send us an email, and we'll be happy to talk to you, so that we can get more of this. We want to do the under-19s, and sometime in the future we want to do the under-15s as well. The Masters are asking for something as well, and while we can, because a lot of countries are not playing cricket, Crony, and this one is stroked down to the long on position. Wavell Hines does the fielding in the number 10 shirt, and one more to the total. But Crony, yes, we want to give you more. We want to give you more, and some people request more, and we want to do it, but it cannot be done unless we have the support of corporate Grenada. Not only corporate Grenada, but those in the diaspora as well. Some have expressed interest in seeing this continue, so we're hoping that it can, and we're happy to talk to you.
Well, I'm certainly happy that you cleared up a few things. One, the fact that Karakou is not involved, and then the issue of having the matches in the stadium and not using the ground. I think it's a question people would have asked, so I think it's really good that you were able to clear it up in terms of the protocol and what is stipulated for us to have this, not being able to use the other facilities. I think some people were concerned about that, so I think I'm happy that you were able to clear that.
Well, the thing is, we could have either done it this way or do nothing at all. And you don't want a situation where you can, because in some countries, in Barbados, for example, and Trinidad, you can't do anything. And if we have an opportunity in Grenada to do something, we're going to do it. We're going to do it, right? And these are the conditions that we have. And, we are hoping that things will get better as we progress throughout the year. But at this point in time, we're not in the habits of breaking any laws or any protocols.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We want our players to be safe. We spoke about the under-19 tournament coming up, and I did mention we have an additional duty of care for under-19 players. Most of them are minors. They are below the age of 18. and we would not want to be responsible for exposing them to any danger, but at the same time we would like them to enjoy the game that they love so much.
Yeah, it's so important that people understand what is happening. Hit down to a short third man and taking it easily there as McDonald coming on the back foot, looking for room to hit it down to backward point. Was not able to keep it down. And the catch was taken there by Davis Charles, caught by Smith. Again off the bowling of Davis Charles. And St Andrews fall deeper into trouble. 54 for 4 in the 10th over. And really look difficult from here. And
yeah, and that's a big blow because Donald McDonald is one of the guys who can really hit the ball out of the park consistently. And he was outfoxed here by Davis Charles, and he had Devon Smith taking a smart catch there at the short third man position. So St Andrews, I would say, in a spot of bother in terms of, well, both in the overs and in terms of wickets. And I think now Daniel McDonald, who's wearing number 5 shirt, and Anil Matthew, who's wearing number 13 shirt, a lot would depend on these two. Daniel has the ability to take the game away from the opposition, but he has a lot of work to do. Still some batting to come. You have Darren Ned and others to come, but it's looking quite difficult here, especially with someone like Dennis George only bowling 2 overs for 6 runs, has another 2 overs to go. Davis Charles bowling reasonably well, so quite a lot of work for the St Andrew team.
It's 54 for 4, and we in over number 10, and this ball is pushed on the onside. Quick single taken there. Anil Matthew, shot number 13. Just a bit about the captains in this tournament. We had a chance to look at the captain, but just to give views in terms of the captains, I have been able to look at them. Any views in terms of who you think would have stand out?
Well, I think they've all done a reasonable job. Looking at these two teams here, I think Devon is in charge now. Is it, or is it? I know Hippolyte captain before, but I'm not. I think it looks like Devon is the one who is really marshalling the troops for these matches.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah, even though the teams would have a captain, but when it comes to this stage with all the senior players in, you find some of the senior players like you would probably see Kavem Hodge, being integral in terms of decision making and so forth. But I think the work of Anil Matthew, in my view, really impressed me quite a lot. I looked at his field placement and how he had been able to read the game. I certainly think he is one of the players in my view that would have stand up with his captaincy. As you rightly said, the senior players really get involved especially when it comes down to the tight situations.
Yeah, and with Anil, you had the same Daniel McDonald as well. I think they would have shared the captaincy for this tournament, so they have something going there. And the coaches have done an excellent job. You have Daniel Frederick, who's really fought with this team because they didn't have the best of starts as the St Andrew team, and they've come well. Ricky Williams coaching the St Patrick team. So the captains with the coaches, I think they've done a reasonable job in these circumstances with most of the teams. So it all goes well. So we hope that they can build on this.
59 for 4 and over number 10. St Andrews sort of lost some pretty important wicket up front. The wicket of Teddy Bishop, Kavem Hodge has really been struggling a bit. He entered the 10th over, and Charles in his 3rd over so far 1 for 28. This one is hit down to long on. The batsman ambles a single as we come to the end of the 10th over. St Andrews looking for 165 for victory. They are 60 for 4 after 10 overs. As we look at the region, maybe we'll just look at the West Indies a bit here. Probably have any information to share. We know that there are plans to have some cricket later on in the year. I know that there are doubts with the 4-day cricket. If you could bring up to date with any information that you probably may have and probably are in a position to share.
Well, I think the Cricket West Indies, the officers there would make some announcement very shortly. So not really in a position to see what's actually going.
I think this is
going
why I
happen, yeah.
specifically see if you're in a position to share, because you probably will know something but not really in a position to share.
Yeah, they
So,
they will do their job and get things in order. You know, we have the test match starting tomorrow, so I think we all glued to that. We all be glued to that and hope for some continued good performances by the team.
Anything we local plans in terms of going forward for cricket in Grenada? I know that we have the under-19 starting this week. Very difficult, I know. I mean, there's no finances forthcoming even to have, other programs from Grenada Cricket Association point of view. Anything in mind in the pipeline?
Yeah, it's difficult to continue with most of the programs, some that we had in the schools before. Of course, there's some issues with the schools, so there's nothing much going on with the schools, and that's why we decided to go ahead with the under-19 tournament. This one is dropped on the boundary, kind of like a discal attempt there in terms of the catch. Can make
George,
George, the fielder.
Yeah, just to get
Kieran Charles.
Charles
Yeah,
that
Kieran
really
Charles,
would
yeah.
have would have dropped that catch on the mid-wicket boundary. Short delivery, and Matthew didn't get hold of it, and it went down to the fielder. As you said, made a casual attempt. I see he's sporting same hairstyle with George. Have been able to pick up that catch.
Yes, Crony. So we, people speak about programs and whatnot, but you have to understand the kind of restrictions that we have. This one is signaled wide by the umpire. So we're very careful so that the teams preparing for the under-19s would have a couple days to do so, and we start that competition. And after there, we plan to look at how things are unfolding. Loud appeal here by Denroy Charles. Don't think there was any consideration about giving that one out. Seemed to be angled down the leg side. Charles bowling from around the wicket to the left-hander, and easy decision. And this one should be out. No over the man's head there, and it's 6 to Daniel McDonald. At one stage, you thought that he didn't really get it in the middle, but it had enough. He had enough on it to get it over the rope, over the fielder's head.
Yeah, you're right. Didn't really get it. The timing wasn't right. Didn't get hold of it, but just enough to get over that long off fielder, and it went for this time. It hit straight down to this time straight down to long on, and the fielder just had to settle under it and take an easy catch. And again, Olive in that position, coming up with an easy catch, and there St. Andrews losing the 5th wicket, 68 for 5, and really in the 11th over, and really St. Patrick really seemed to be all over St. Andrews.
Yeah, well, St. Andrews losing the plot here. McDonald, got away with the first one, got it over the fielder's head, and then the very next ball, some people call it 6 and out. The very next ball, looking to hit it over long on John Olive, taking a comfortable catch on the boundary. So now you would have to say at 68 for 5 in 10 overs, it's looking increasingly difficult here. No threat of rain, but if we were to look at Duckworth Lewis after 11 overs, with 5 wickets down, the par score 93. So St. Patrick well ahead at this stage, Crony.
Yeah, certainly they have played the better cricket today. I think that the batting was again positive, and we speak a lot about the batting, but I think 2 players that would have impressed really greatly, in my view, would have been Bishop and Athanaze. I think he played a beautiful inning today. I think he got 50 odd, 56. but really played a superb inning. I think the stroke making, have been of high class. I think both himself and Bishop, two young players. The Johan Jeremiah also as young players, and as we was commenting, these two young players that certainly Grenada would be looking forward to going further. Really have been exceptional in the shot making. Push young to long off, and the Ambler single. So that's 1 to Ned. He's off the mark, 69 for 5 as we complete over number 11. St. Andrews are still trying to get to 165, but certainly at the stage now it's seen it's very difficult.
Yeah, I think the use of the bowlers by St. Patrick has been excellent. The use of the spin bowlers. It's a spin-based attack. They've held back Dennis George for 2 overs. They've gotten Denroy Charles in. 9 runs came off his over, but most importantly, he got the wicket of Daniel McDonald. And now his brother Davis Charles is about to complete his 4th over, and he's picked up a wicket as well. So they've bowled pretty well, helped by some injudicious batting by the St. Andrew team. But I think the St. Andrew team would be thinking that Darren Ned, who wears the number 8 shirt, he's a very good batter as well, and very attacking player, and they would have some hope in him as well. So he would need to perhaps play the innings of the tournament for him if St. Andrew are to get to this total.
Charles in his final over, ball stroked down to long off. Ned picking up his 2nd run. The score moved to 70 for 5. And in Matthew, who have been there from the beginning, is just on 9. We saw a different inning from him yesterday. I think, I guess maybe different condition. Was pretty attacking. This time around, having it really difficult. And again, it's because of the slow bowling. I just want to sit down to wide long on, between that long on field and mid-wicket, and go down to the boundary for 4. One of the few bad deliveries bowled there. And Matthew giving it the full treatment.
Yeah, a bit too short, and Matthew just punks on that, and hit it in the gap. There was a man at the straight mid-wicket, well, deep mid-wicket position, and there was a long on bisecting the field. So he's still there, and he's one who would try to bat through the innings, but he would need some support from the other end.
Pass backward point. This is going to go into the boundary for another 4. Let's see. Yes, into the boundary for another 4. It's clever batting. He was back, and that's basically steered it between that backward point and that short third man, and went down to the boundary for another 4.
Yeah, and latest of cuts, and again getting it between those 2 fielders there. And type of a Frank World type of shot where the fielders would run right down to the boundary and still couldn't stop it.
Yeah, that tremendous work by a cameraman. Really followed that ball right down to the boundary. It's 78 for 5 over number 12. This play to mid-wicket. A little misfield by the mid-wicket fielder, Henry. And yet another single, 79. So this over. It's going for 9 runs so far.
Boys, Ned gonna have a swing. Either Ned dry it or you're gonna have a swing.
The voice of
Dennis Smith.
Dennis Smith. And it's so important that you know your players, so you know how to bowl to them, and just reminding the bowler. And again, he's looking to swing. This one goes over the extra cover, and the coming back for 2 runs. 81 it is in the 12th over, and in Matthew 18 there are others on 4. Dennis Smith was right in that Darren is going to go for a swing and get a swing, and it went over cover. So at the end of the 12th over, 81 for 5, and we have just 8 overs to go, and still probably an next 84 runs to go. Really over 10 runs for over.
Yeah, difficult at this stage, but Anil is there, Anil Matthew is there. He's going to try to bat through. He needs to up the pace a bit, and as Dennis Smith said, Ned is going to have a swing. And he should really try to take the attack. It's going to be difficult now because that man again, Dennis George, back into the attack. So, I mean, you couldn't have a better bowler coming in at this stage.
Yeah, certainly challenging with the fall of 5 wickets, and that will make it so difficult, having lost 5 wickets. 81 over number 13. Anil Matthew, who opened the batting, is on 18. As Dennis George, left arm spin bowling between the umpire and the stump, coming around the wicket for this delivery. He's stroking it back to Dennis George. A very, very clever bowler, has been a lot of experience. Again, straight to the extra cover. Matthews on 18. Dennis George in his third over, none for 6, but importantly keeping things very tight. And he's bowling to a short third man, backward point, extra cover, a cover on the boundary, long off. They have a long on, mid wicket fairly straightish, mid wicket on the boundary on a backward square. Matthew again is just called upon again to defend and push it out to that backward point, Marlon Henry. The score remained 81 for 5, making it really difficult for St Andrews. We have seen in the tournament that it seemed to be so much easier to score off the faster bowling. But when the slow ball spinners comes on, it just seemed to make it difficult for most of the team.
And that's how it goes in Windwards cricket and even West Indies cricket. I think a lot of the batsmen more comfortable against the fast bowlers, the ball coming onto the bat. Although I've seen some good playing of spin in this tournament, Johan Jeremiah, for example, especially yesterday in the semi-final, and he took the attack to Dennis George, who has been the best bowler in this tournament. Teddy Bishop again has played the spin pretty well. So we have a few players who have shown competence against the spin bowling, but generally speaking, you would find that they prefer the ball coming onto the bat, the pace or the medium pace.
Just a bit on the facility in terms of the pitch and the outfield. Your view in terms of the surface that particularly that we had to play on over the last 5 weeks.
Well, the pitch for the first couple of matches or the earlier part of the tournament, the pitch wasn't it wasn't as true. I think yesterday we had the best batting surface. In fact, yesterday and today, especially yesterday. So the ground staff has done a good job. The field is not in the best of condition. Obviously, in the dry season, there has been some concern about the use of water. At the stadium. So obviously it's not an international match or international tournament. So the use of the water has to be restricted. So in the circumstances, I think the ground staff led by Kevin Hodge has done an excellent job. And it's reasonable good. The surface is good for cricket at this level.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. I think the groundsmen would have done a good job. And again, as you speak about the field, and it's interesting to know that, as I was commenting earlier, that it's a kind of field that's really expensive to keep up to top standard, and it's also a field that would probably just take 2-3 weeks to look the way you want it to look in terms of the greenness and in terms of the levelness of the surface. As you know, an international game going to come, you probably wouldn't take us more than a month to really, so long as you have what is necessary, really to put it together. But they have done a good job. I really agree with you in terms of that, and the quality of the surface, have been really good.
Cooney, as I take my exit, I just want to again thank the sponsors, especially the National Artists Authority, Windwards Cricket Board. We had some other sponsors, Poli Water. And this could be out. Is he? Yes, he's well caught at long on by, looks like John Olive. Good, simple catch in the end. But here we see perhaps the last hope for St. Andrew and Ian Matthew. The ball in the slot, went for the drive, tried to get it over long on, didn't have enough power, didn't have enough elevation, and Olive took a comfortable catch at long on. And St. Patrick now would be happy to see the back of Anil Matthew, the one perhaps that had to stay there for St. Andrew to get home. And now it's going to be a very, very tall order, and the writing is on the wall really for a St. Patrick victory. But it's a game of cricket, Crony, and
Yeah,
you still have another, how many overs
we are
after
still
this
at
one?
six overs after this.
6-1 after this. It's not impossible, and there are some capable hitters in the St. Andrew team now. The new batsman looks like Richard Rogers, and we also have, I think, Sherman Lewis fancies himself with the bat as well.
Yeah, certainly 86 for 6, and just to let you know that again the conditions is still getting a little bit brighter. But I really want to thank you, Dwayne, for your input in this tournament. I think certainly it's a tournament I guess that we can term as very successful. No matter how we plan, sometimes we always have little hiccups here and there, but I think it's really been a successful tournament, and certainly has created an impact, and not only on the mainland here in Grenada, but I think throughout the world. And certainly I know your hope is for us to move to the next level, to make cricket stronger in this country. And just as you leave, would it be an annual tournament? Something in mind you have in mind?
I mean, we've played 50 over cricket, white ball cricket. We've brought back T20. The plan this year, obviously, and even from last year, was to go back again to 2-day cricket. Even at the Windwards level, we were for the first time. Looks as though he's going to be stumped. He's stumped brilliantly so by Dennis Smith off the bowling of Dennis George. So St. Patrick in further, St. Andrew, correction, in further trouble. Now 87 for 7. But Crony, yes, we even at the Windwards level, the plan this year was to have a 3-day tournament. We felt that we are in a position in terms of the finance now to do the 3-day tournament in Grenada. Is going to be held in Grenada, but it's looking unlikely, of course, because of the protocols. You know, this arrangement in terms of quarantining. You know, teams would come in and have to quarantine, and they would go back to St. Vincent, Dominica, St. Lucia, and have to quarantine again for another 7 days. So that's looking unlikely. But even at this level, we wanted to also to do a 2-day tournament, and we hopefully next year we will be back to some semblance of normalcy, and we will want to have at the senior level 3 tournaments. We want to have at the under 19 level at least a 50 over tournament, as we normally do. Under 15, we normally do a 50 over tournament, and we want to get back in some women's cricket as well. So that's always the plan. Of course, finance will dictate what happens. The strength of the parishes, they too need to do some fundraising activities and get their houses in order to really participate in all of our tournaments. We've always had tournaments, and there's a loud appeal. Not out, says umpire Mark. We've always had tournaments. What we want now is the training programs amongst the parishes. We've seen some good work coming from, you know, St. David in terms of with Raymond Duncan. In St. George we have Junior Murray. We understand, and I don't want to break the news that, you know, there's something coming on stream in St. Patrick as well by one of our famous players. So we're hoping for more of these programs, and by God's grace, we're hoping that, you know, this whole COVID thing would ease up, so that we can get our youngsters back on the fields, and, you know, and hopefully see a lot of them playing in this tournament next year, and for years to come. So, Crony, again, we want to thank the sponsors. We want to thank TNR Communications. We want to thank the commentators who have done a very good job for this tournament. And if I told the public the conditions you're working under, they won't believe me. In terms of, you know, you're really giving back to cricket. When I say conditions, you're really giving back to cricket by doing this broadcast. So I want to thank you, Justin Hector, Stevenson Worm, Kerry Frank, and all of the others. We had some players coming in from the Volcanoes, and you know, all of those, the umpires, the scorers, they've done a brilliant job in this particular tournament, and we're hoping that, you know, we're going to continue with the under 19s next week, and who knows, we will have more tournaments for the rest of the year.
Well, we certainly thank you for your busy time, and really want to wish you the best as you continue to lead this organization. And I know that this cricket is certainly in your heart, and you want to see the best for all our players. So we certainly want to wish you the best, and look forward to continue to working and just to take cricket to the next level.
But Crony, I just, if you permit me, I just want to thank. You know, we've had some. He's out. No, it's just dropped short. You know, we look at the stream sometimes. We go home and look at it, and we look at the comments, and you know, there are some very positive comments, right? And there are some, you know, critical moments as well. And you know, we take everything on board. You know, some of the critics are a little bit unfair because I don't think they actually know what we have to do to get these things in place. But we look at the critics, look at the comments, and we see how we can get better. And this is a magnificent shot by Darren Ned, and he's not going to give up over mid-wicket for 6. So Crony, keep the comments. We want the viewers to keep the comments coming in, right? We're looking for ways to improve. And you can give us a call sometimes. I answer my phone anytime, you know, to discuss cricket with anybody. But we really appreciate negative, positive. We really appreciate it. And, you know, just want to encourage that as well. So thank you very much, Crony.
Well, thanks much, and all the best as this one, Ned looking to play down to backward point and make no contact. The score 95 for 7. We're in over number 16. Darren Ned is on 15. Sherman Lewis on 1. St. Patrick's really taking a strong hold on this game. As we into this one, again he's looking to hit and making no contact. As I welcome back Justin, really St. Patrick's really has taken full control of this game.
Well, we spoke about that even before the start of the inning. The spinners, the delivery that doesn't have the same type of pace like the medium pacers provided for the batsmen, and it's not surprising as Ned gets 2 more sweep shot down towards backward or square down towards fire leg. But one of the things, yeah, we did speak about that, the ability to how would they maneuver the spinners and find ways and means of scoring runs against them.
Well, we did see 165, which is a high score scored by St. Andrews. Always going to be a challenging score, and it meant that we would probably have to see a next dazzling inning by maybe Bishop, and then Kavem Hodge, who, to my view, is 2 of the main players on the St. Andrews team for batting. We would have had to see that, and that was not the case. Again, Bishop, to my view, trying to be a little bit too aggressive. Looking to come down the track and was out stump. But really started off well. I mean, he continued from where he left off yesterday. I think he was pretty attacking. Did play some good shots, but was not able to carry on.
I think it's vitally important at this stage in his career, though, to sort of start to learn, or somebody start to coach him in terms of that middle game that he need to link with his game. He has well, I mean, he can play strokes. He plays around the wicket, but he needs to find that middle game now. That where he probably needs to realize at times that he need to temper the aggression and not go too hard. Just hold back for a ball or 2 or a few deliveries. You know, all that will help him to build big totals when he bats.
Yeah, I think the issue here is billing and innings. You know, he have all the shots. He have a good start, so he need to know when to settle. when not to take chances, and when to push on. And I think the over before was a big over for him. And come next over, I think it was either first or second delivery, he tried to go down the track. But you have to know, and it calls for sensible batting. When you need to push it around and look for the ones and the twos, and when to go for big shot. I think this is what is lacking in terms of being able to concentrate for long periods and bat for long. And again, it comes down to a lot of training by the individual. You have to be not only physically but mentally fit. This one is hit in the air. The bowler is going back and taking a very good catch. Very good catch. There is Denoy Charles. Again, shortish delivery, and the batsman looking to Darren Ned. They looking to hit it straight back over, but not getting hold of it.
And the old man Olive was able to turn and come back and grab onto a very good catch. He to stop and have to come back and run in with the ball coming from behind your backs. It was a really good grab in the end. Well, unfortunately, Ned has to go, and probably that's the last hope, the last chance. And certainly,
another convincing performance by St. Patrick's. We seen it yesterday. Their game against St. George's, really convincing. And today we seen it likewise. Batting first and scoring 165, which was really made up by the batting of Athanaze. And really we have seen them turn around. They have always boasts of strength in the bowling in terms of being able to take control. I think yesterday's semi-final was a game where we probably didn't see the best of the St. Patrick's bowling, but has really come on today. Done well with the bat, and also has done well with the ball.
Yeah, Iman Alexander, probably, who usually would be very tight, really went for a few yesterday. Today he was much better. And maybe I thought too Teddy should have been a little bit more respectful to the fact that these spinners have a little bit more difficult in these conditions.
Yeah, I say it always goes on to sensible batting. You have to make right decision. You have to be able to read the game. Now, 20 overs is not just a keep swinging. You could check, you get 10, 15 runs in an over. You know that you don't have to take excessive chance in the next over. If the ball has come, a bad delivery, you're going to put it away. But just thinking, and in terms of how you play, and that just does not seem to be part of his play. His thing is attack, and sometimes you need to curve that.
And Devon Smith, of course, the veteran, has done a good job too. He's controlled the guys out in the field very well. Has placed them in strategic very good fielding positions, and certainly put some pressure on.
This one is hit with down over cover. What a tremendous effort there. It goes for 6. But it's interesting to look at that again. Denoy Charles, we saw him yesterday, just saving 6 runs, jumping, getting his one hand. Let's look at this, as this one was hit over extra cover. Slow delivery and hit over extra covers. Interesting to see the cameraman there with this one. And let's see him almost to the ball, jump, get one hand and almost held it and went over the boundary for 6. Brilliant effort.
But I think he lost it when he tried to throw it back onto the field, because his momentum would have definitely got him off the field.
Yeah.
And that's when it slipped off. But it was a good try, very good attempt. And
again, Justin, superb camera work, and they were able to follow that delivery really from the bat, and you saw everything. And one has to really continue to give TNR credit. Tremendous work they are doing. The score at the end of 17 overs, 106 for 8. And really, St. Patrick's could feel very confident now that they are really going to pull off another convincing victory.
Yes, and one do not expect the talent that is still left in the bank to be able to pull off that feat. They still need what? Another 59 runs in 3 overs. Really and truly, there is all kind of probabilities you can think about, but maybe that's not one of them.
Well, just a look at the scorecard. Teddy Bishop was stumped by Dennis Smith, bowled Iman Alexander for 21. He only faced 8 deliveries, 2 fours and 2 sixes. Kavem Hodge caught Athanaze bowled Alexander for 4. He faced 3 deliveries, and a brilliant catch at backward point. Athanaze diving full length to his left and taking it with both hands. Akeem Ogis caught Olive, bowled Charles for 15. 8 deliveries, 3 fours. As Donald McDonald caught Devon Smith, bowled Davis Charles for 4. He had 12 deliveries, 17 minutes. Donald McDonald, this ball is played down to long on for 1. 1 to George is 107 for 8. Daniel McDonald caught Olive, bowled Denroy Charles for 9. He had 6 deliveries. Darren Ned caught and bowled Olive 18, 16 deliveries. And he hit 1-6. This was right up, and the batsman Lewis just coming down on this one and pushing it on the offside. Rogers stumped Dennis Smith, bowled George. No score. Sherman Lewis not out 2. Dina George not out 8. It's 107 for 8. This one is played down to backward square. He's going to pick up 2 runs. Kieran Charles is a bowler. St. George. Charles. It's 109 for 8, and just about time. Bowling.
It's all over.
As Charles in the second over so far, 1 for 18. This ball it's going to go close to the boundary. Good stop by Dennis George, coming around from a long leg position, and by signal by umpire Hulas.
I've seen some crony. We saw a few buys in the tournament. Most of the wicket keepers seem not to stay down as long as it's recommended, more or less, because it's recommended that the wicket keeper should stay down for as long as possible.
Yeah, really supposed to come up with the ball.
Yes.
That delivery just seemed to stay down a bit.
Yeah, it did stay down a bit. And it was down the leg side.
It's a pretty strange shot by Lewis there.
Yeah, looking to sweep. And this low order, but I don't like to call them tailenders, but Lewis believes that, I'm sure if you ask Lewis, he'll tell you he can handle himself with the bat. But they like to believe that they are maybe a little better than they actually are.
Again, slow delivery. End of the over, end of 18 overs, 112 for 8. Iman Alexander had a good spell of 4 overs, 1 maiden, 9 runs, 2 wickets, and he would have sort of broken the back.
Yeah.
We seen having a better game today with the ball. Davis Charles 4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 41. Kieran Charles 2 overs, no maidens, 1 for 18. Dennis George 4 overs, no maiden, 10 runs, 1 wicket. So the spin twin of Iman Alexander and Dennis George have been really, really tight in the 8 overs. Just 19 runs, and really that would have broken the back of the batting. Dennis Charles 3 overs, 2 wickets for 22. Olive 1 over, 1 for 8.
And once again, you're blessed with the beautiful view of the surrounding area. The area is just surrounding the National Stadium here. And all of a sudden, nothing seemed to be coming from close to the the middle of the bat.
Yeah, and Olive bowling a lot of slow deliveries, and really, batsman not equal to it.
Seemed like an attempted slow ball by Olive, which was tugged through mid wicket by Lewis for a single. But singles won't do it. I don't even think fours or sixes will.
Yeah, 18.2 overs. Just 10 deliveries left. 53 runs still required. 52 runs. Now it's 51 runs with 9 deliveries.
So Olive just going back to the top of his mark, turns and begins to move in. And midway through the 19th over, full toss, which is played where down towards long on, and the fielder can get around to effect the save, and it goes for 4. So a full toss, which was given the treatment by Lewis. Probably the fielder at the long on boundary probably could have done a little better, Crony.
Well, I think it was wide of him,
Of
you
him,
know, and
yes.
he was running, had to run across, and just was not able to get to the ball as
No,
again.
he wasn't able to get to it.
Yeah.
That was Benjamin. And Lewis again. Well, this delivery is coming off the inner portion of the bat, not probably wanting to go a lot straighter. And gets it down towards mid-wicket for a single.
Yeah, the ball not coming on, and skillful bowling there by Olive. Would have some experience, just holding it back, and Lewis looking for the straight drive again. Oli into the shot, and it went down to mid-wicket.
Just a stifle appeal there. The ball passed underneath the bat and taken by the keeper. So no damage done. 119 for 8. So they need to score 47 in this is the last over.
Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
Really a comfortable victory in the end.
Yeah, convincing performance by St. Patrick. They really come really strong in the last 2 games that they would have played, both the semi-final and both the final. I think a number of people felt that they would have get the better of St. Andrews. St. Andrews had a pretty good start, and in terms of the runs, and you know, as was said that St. Patrick's, I believe, had a pretty good start. St. Andrews winning the toss and Alick into field. Obviously didn't get the sort of start they expected.
Played down towards third man. That's the final rights being put on the. Just made a little harsh of it down there, George. Maybe just breaking concentration and allow the batsman to cross for 2. So 121 for 8. Well, he finally signaled 4. Probably yes. It went pretty close to the line, Crony, in the second attempt, and may have just gotten part of his body onto the. So it's 4 runs, so it's 123. And looking to pull, that could be close, no, but well judged in the end, and probably go back for no, not going back for the second this time. So these two showing a a sense of urgency that we didn't see previously, though in vain, you know.
Yeah, it's certainly in vain. Just 4 deliveries left.
I guess they would want to entertain us still as much as they can. It's a lovely view, lovely sight from the drone as it circles over the ground here.
I mean, if you don't enjoy, you watch the play.
So interesting sometimes to hear the comments of these guys out there on the effect microphones.
Yeah, most.
That's a good advice. You shouldn't play the game if you don't like it. Yeah.
124 for 8, 19.3 overs bowled. This one is hit down to long on, and someone is getting on right. Yeah, he's taken there at a wide mid-on position. Charles picking up his second wicket. 2.4 overs, 2 for 24. As George was caught by Davis, bowled by Charles.
The question is, would they bat 20 overs now?
Well, I think they should just 2 deliveries. No need to try to do anything. It's 124.9, but anything can happen. As we know, get another overhead picture of the grounds. Actually looking at the pitch, which has remained in really good conditions.
Very, very good conditions.
Really good conditions. I think there was no worry for either of the teams today. Pitch played very well. We are getting so accustomed with empty stadium across the world.
Yes, throughout the world. So here's the reason for the question whether they would bat 20 overs.
Having the president speaking, and he speak about sensible cricket, and really that has been lacking by a number of our players, including our top players. When we see some of the dismissals and what is being done now, you really question. Final delivery, looking for big swing. Whatever it is,
you got him on the knees.
And whatever it is with the big swing, because it's not going to make a difference. Better you come out not out. But a very convincing victory, St. Patrick's. Winning convincingly the first ever GPL NLA T20 tournament. And this was put on by the Grenada Cricket Association. Certainly it has been a successful tournament, and really is the first of the kind, being streamed live across the world. And certainly at the end of it, I think everyone will feel pretty satisfied, pretty happy about such a tournament.
Well, as at the end of it too, maybe at the post-match interviews, you may hear about the successes of Crown City once again. I mean, congratulations to St. Patrick. I think in one of the interviews earlier, mention was made about the fact that so many victories in various different forms and fashion, whether it's culture, sport, or whatever, would have gone to St. Patrick. And I remember Iman Alexander saying that, that's what they're heading for again. That's what they're going for. That's what they're playing for.
Yeah, you're certainly right. I think that probably is one of the team that we were not looking to get to the top. But I think the last 2 performances were really excellent. From the time they got into the semi-finals, they just seemed to change. Certainly we were playing a high-level game. And they deserve to win. Really, they played well yesterday afternoon. Their batting was tremendous. Their bowling wasn't of the best, but really the batting came on strongly. And today we have seen them go to the bat and with the ball. So really good performance by St. Patrick's, and certainly they need all the compliments for having played in this tournament. Really convincing victories in both semi-final and final.
Yes, and very much so. But they do look quite a determined and well-knitted unit. They played consistent cricket, especially in semi-final and the finals. Once they got to that point, as I said, for them there was no real turning back.
Well, just a look at St. Andrews. I think that St. Andrews did play well, and they too stepped up. I think with their last 2 games before this one, they played against St. David's and played very well. And we saw them. I think they defeated St. Mark's, a game against St. Mark's, where we saw that they really come of age in terms of their strategy, in terms of their technique, what they would have done. So they should feel proud of themselves. I think they played well. And obviously when you look at the teams, and one have to say that the Parish that played the better cricket all round came up on top. The spin of St. Patrick's, I think, was instrumental in they doing as good as they did. All it meant was just to get the batting to come on a bit, and it certainly came on. As once again, another beautiful view of the National Stadium facility, the surroundings. We see the athletics track.
And of course, that building where we are right now, just perched high up somewhere in the middle of the screen there, the building, the top floor there. And very advantageous position, very nice site, and of course hopefully too, we'll see to Crony the commencement of athletics, and so with the athletic stadium will come alive. I think on Saturday we have national champs or something or something like that. There's some
Yeah,
athletics
well,
sports over
we
the
certainly have a big game
weekend.
on Tuesday.
Right.
That football game, and
Correct,
certainly
yes,
I
and
think we're probably going to see an improvement in terms of our sporting activities coming up, and certainly is a big one to look forward to, and a
Right.
football game on Saturday at the National Stadium.
Right. Yes. And
But we are seeing now the St. Patrick's team just coming together probably for a picture, well deserved.
Yes.
Coming out on top in this first ever GPL NLA T20 tournament, and just looking back at the tournament, Justin, as we look at the games, I think, as was discussed with the president, it's pleasing to see that there were commitment from all the parishes
yeah.
who
Yes.
made an effort to be here,
Yeah.
and one of the conditions was again trying to lift our standard from all aspects. Being here on the grounds 1 hour before the matches, we saw that team really made an effort to be here very early. So
Indeed.
at least all our games were able to start on time, probably with the exception of maybe some conditions that, for instance, today in terms of the weather, we would have started, but it was important to know that all our teams were on the ground enough time with the toss, an hour before the toss and the preparation, and that to me was a real big improvement in terms of the commitment of our parishes.
It was excellent.
And certainly I think there are some positive things that came out of this tournament, and one would just hope that we're going to move from strength to strength in terms of our organization and in terms of how we run our tournaments.
Yes, well, it's good to see the St. Andrew team just gathered there probably for the photo session.
Yes, we see it in the mix. Clyde Telesford, who coach of the team, who assisted the team together with Ricky Williams. We also saw the physio for the Windwards team, Mario, standing there. The coordinator of sport, Colin Peters, being in the mix. So again, we also had to thank the ministry for tremendous support to make this tournament reality. The Ministry of Sport was given full support in terms of the venue, probably making sure that we had whatever equipment necessary, the heavy roller, just to make sure that we were able to play. And certainly they continue to do their part to make it accessible, to create the right conditions for sports to be played. And in this era we talk about T20 cricket. So again, special thanks to the Ministry of Sport, the National Stadium Authority, who are fully on board with this activity. And certainly we can see ourselves going from strength to strength.
Yes, and it was not as easy as probably as it seemed, because, for instance, well, look, the commentators, the guys who've been shooting the games. It's been 2 days for the last few weekends. Every weekends you're here very first thing in the early Saturday morning and Sunday morning throughout the day. So it's been a total commitment on the part of everyone, and it has happened to bring this off. The umpires, they were relatively good throughout the tournament. Can't complain too much about the decisions which you've seen, and generally, kudos have to go to all of those people who have played a part in making this what it turned out to be.
Yeah, just a word on the umpires, and as you said, I think they would have done a great job. Obviously, they probably might have been a little decision here and there doubtful, but generally, and if you could score them over 90%, that's an excellent job.
Yes.
When we look back at the tournament, and we having the opportunity to view, to have the replays, which really would put them in the spot. They would have done a tremendous job, and they need to become complimented. I think the ground staff did their work also, and the support staff. I think the members of the association, the organizing committee, really did a tremendous job. Again, Justin would have been challenging for us in terms of being able to bring it live, being able to stream it. But I think, again, it's a lot of sacrifice and a lot of effort being made. And certainly, I think all areas, all aspects just seem to work together to make sure that that tournament comes off and it's success that we had. We now seen just probably the preparation for the presentation of the trophy, and we see the president of the Cricket Association. We see the vice president there. We see the secretary, and quite a number of both teams.
Colin Peters, director of sports.
Coordinator of sports is also there, and I think they must be pleased. The Cricket Association must be pleased with what they have seen in terms of this tournament. I think it really has lifted the bar. I love to see the commitment and the discipline of the parishes. This is an area that we have struggled with for years. You know, in terms of the players coming out. Yes, there is some monetary gains, but I think at the end of the day, we are seeing that there been a turnaround with all the parishes. Even some of the parishes that we knew we had little struggles and challenges, but it didn't show in this tournament. I think every parish should have made the effort.
Yes, indeed.
The managers, the coaches, and the staff, and certainly would have done their bit. And we can feel very pleased with this tournament win.
Yes, correct. I think he can only serve well for future tournaments. And as we see the short stay by the June, which is right almost down to the level of the field, very close to the players. Just going around giving you a much clearer view of the players. You would have seen them sometimes from a distance. You have now the opportunity to see them pretty close up. So I'm taking you, as we always say, up close. So very nice. So that's the trophy that the St. Patrick team would be receiving, and it will be a celebration and all again for St. Patrick this evening.
Yeah.
So, but how good is that for non-traditional? Well, I don't want to say non-traditional powers, but for the team like to see St. Andrew and St. Patrick in the final, maybe considering the cricket powerhouses, St. David and St. George's, not featuring at all in the finals.
Yeah, I think it would be a big disappointment for St. David's in particular. I don't think St. David's played good cricket through the tournament. We saw them play today, even for the third place playoff, and really, they have not played really good cricket. We've seen them struggle through the tournament. Remember, in St. David's, we won that tournament for the last 3 years, defeating St. Patrick's, St. Andrews, and so forth. But what we saw from St. David's, I think, in this tournament, really was not what we expected. They didn't play well, and really and truly, if you does not play well, it really does not deserve to win. But I think St. Patrick's came out really strongly. St. Andrews also played well, and maybe the two teams that ended up in the finals really deserve to do so, simply because they have played well going right through.
Yes, of course. On that basis, they really do. They really did. And what has happened is that they have built up to that crescendo, because at one point they both were struggling to get into the semi-finals, to qualify for the semi-finals, and they in the end got through, and the game was lifted basically after that. They played better and better as the tournament went on, and we can see the result of that today, especially the St. Patrick team, which I think really a lot of credit have to go to them, the coaching staff, and their own commitment to the game, to see how they have managed to get through that difficult period and be in a position now where they can lift the title.
Well, just to look at both teams, I think you look at St. Andrews' team, I think it's pretty balanced. I think in terms of the bowling attack, they do have a lot of options. St. Patrick's likewise, in terms of the of the balance. But we go down to the ground now for the presentation. We join Kerry on the grounds as we now have the presentation for the finals.
Successful tournament. We've seen keen cricket over the last few weekends, and now the championship match between St Andrew and St Patrick's, and a deserving victory to St Patrick by 40 plus runs. We have with us at the presentation ceremony a big party, and we'd like to recognize them. We have Mr. Dwayne Gill, President of the Grenada Cricket Association, Johnson Richardson in his capacity today as a representative of Windwards Cricket, Rupert Holas, the treasurer of the GCA and one of the organizers of the competition, Mr. Colin Peters, coordinator of sports in the Ministry of Sports Culture, Andy Noel, our first vice president of the GCA and the tournament's match referee, and Ms. Lydia Edgar, one of the council members of the Grenada Cricket Association, parish representative from St Andrew. First of all, we're going to start the presentation with some individual awards, and we will start with the player of the match for the final, and for his knock of 57, helping his team to 165, the player of the match, Alick Athanaze. We're going to invite Mr. Peters to assist us with the presentation. I envelope you. Yeah. Listen. Johnson is okay. We're going to have a few words with Alick before he goes back to join his team. Alick, 57 in the finals, certainly a good knock-on performance for your team.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, it wasn't really about any individual performances. I just wanted to get the team to a good total.
You would have come in at some good scores in the matches yesterday and today. Quite happy with your form at the back end of the tournament?
Yeah, I think as I told the guys, I could only get better from here, and as you saw that it showed in the last couple of games.
In the finals, you played against your countryman, very good friend, your roommate here in Grenada. Excited to get one over him?
Yeah, we spoke this morning, and to be honest, we are very neutral when it comes to emotions and stuff. So it's just good to get one over him, and he can't give me any talk now.
All right, well, Alick, congratulations on your individual performance, and all the best as you move forward in your development as a cricketer.
Yeah, man, thanks.
All right, so that was Alick Athanaze, the player of the match. We have another individual award, and this time it's the tournament MVP. And I'm sure to you, the viewers, wherever you're across the world, it's no surprise that the MVP of this tournament is Sawyer Dennis George for his individual brilliance with the ball. I think he picked up 16 wickets in the tournament, and the presentation will be done again by Mr. Peters. Sawyer, a few words with you. No stranger to winning MVP in the tournament. I know a few years you'd have done it for your club idlers in the GCA Club Championship, and again now in the Parish T20 competition. Your name as tournament MVP seems to be a regular feeling.
Yeah, well, at least, when you're working hard on a game and you're playing hard, you must expect something, like that. So I think it was good, and thanks.
All right, the courage you come in oftentimes comes in, bowlers seems to want to go after you. You seem to be able to hold your nerves a bit and always deliver when it's needed most for your club.
Yeah, because I realize all the team have a plan to play me out, and I know what to do, like hold my composure and my calmness and just do what I do.
All right, well, Sawyer, it has been certainly a pleasure to see you entertain us at this tournament, and we want to wish you all the best as you continue. And we look forward to seeing much more from you in the future.
Thanks.
All right, so that was Dennis George, the player of the match. At this point in time, we will do another presentation. So we'll have some medals being presented to the winning team. But before we do the medals, we're going to have a word with the captain from St. Andrew, the defeated finalist. He's going to receive his check from the GCA, and we're going to ask Rupert Holas, the treasurer of the GCA, to make the presentation of a check for $2,500 to the second place team, St. Patrick. All right, Anil, if you have a few words with us. Today was not the best performance from you guys?
Yeah, it was a disappointing performance all around. In the field as well, I feel like to give away a couple runs, we could have restrict them lower than 150.
All right. Quite a lot to take away from the tournament. Any aspects stand out to you that you guys can use and develop as you move forward?
Yeah, there's a lot of positive out of the tournament. Our bowlers like Richard Rogers and Daniel McDonald, I think that they did well with the ball. Also with the bat. In the top 5, we have 2 batsmen up there. That's a positive we could take and move into the next competition.
So, Anil, overall your thoughts on the tournament, finishing second place. What are your overall thoughts?
Well, I didn't want to finish second, but nevertheless, we still end up in the top 2. And I think that it was a brilliant tournament, and it's just a learning process for our guys.
So, Anil, once again, congratulations to you and St. Andrews for your performance throughout, though you fall short today, but we certainly expect more from St. Andrews in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, so now we're going to have the presentation of medals. So we're going to ask Miss Edgar and the Vice President of the GCA, representative of Windwards Cricket, to assist us. So the first half will be done by Miss Edgar, and Mr. Johnson Richardson would assist us with the other portion. So I'll call the players as they come to receive their medals. We will start with the wicket keeper batsman, Dennis Smith. We move up the list. John Olive. Marlon Henry. Darren Hippolyte. And Devoni Joseph. Thank you very much, Ms. Edgar. And we now have Mr. Johnson Richardson to assist us with the next set of medals. And we will continue with the tournament MVP, Dennis George. The first of the Charles in the St. Patrick's lineup, Kieran Charles. Denroy Charles. Davis Charles. Wevel Benjamin. Alick Athanaze. Devon Smith. One of the 2 coaches, head coach Ricky Williams. I know. The assistant coach, Clyde Telesford. And we're now going to invite the captain of the squad, the captain of the final, Imon Alexander. He'll receive his medal. And then we'll ask him to remain as we invite the president of the GCA, Dwayne Gill, to make the presentation of the championship trophy. But before that, we're going to have a few words with Imon Alexander. And then we'll have the presentation of the championship trophy and the check for $4,000 winner's prize. Imon Alexander, you've delivered, and the men from the north have certainly finished the tournament with their expectations.
Yeah, we played well as a team. We knew we had us to win, so we come and go hard.
Yeah, in the finals today, again, a good start by the batsmen up front. Benjamin and Athanaze finishing with 57. Benjamin getting another good score. Certainly laid a good foundation for you guys.
Yeah, they just start from where they left off yesterday and give us a good start and give us the encouragement to keep going.
All right, a tournament, it has really like the road going up to the West Coast, a lot of ups and downs through the tournament. Your overall thoughts as a team?
I think it was a good tournament put together, but in terms of the batting aspect, it was a bit poor. But in the end of the tournament, we really come out and give a good account of ourselves, so that's good.
All right, looking at the bigger picture now, your overall thoughts on the tournament and your guys' performance in it?
I think we performed well, and we didn't start off well, but we finished good at the end, and that's good for us.
All right, it must be good feeling that you can look around and you can see the likes of Devon Smith, who has played at the highest level, coming back and still involved in local cricket at this level.
Yeah, it's good to have him back. I mean, the experienced guy around to help the youths is good.
All right, so Iman, we know you've had a little struggle over the last 2 days, but certainly a better performance today with the ball.
Yeah, I knew I had us to come big. This is the final. I'm playing against my home team, so I had us to give it my best.
All right, so Iman, once again, congratulations, and we certainly look forward to you gracing us with your presence in many more tournaments of the GCA. And I'll now invite you to go receive your check from the president of the GCA, a $4,000 prize to the captain, Iman Alexander, and then now you'd have a presentation of the winners champions trophy. So, Iman and President, you can remain, just go up front. Yeah. All right, and so that was the end of the presentation. We want to thank the members of the ceremony. We want to thank everyone who has been involved in the tournament. We know the St. Patrick's players, they're eager, ready to celebrate their victory. But it would be remiss of us if we do not thank the National Lotteries Authority, Windwards Cricket, the Ministry of Sports, Poli. We want to say a special thanks to everyone who've contributed to the tournament, the Ministries of Health, our umpires, TNR Communications, the National Stadium, and everyone who has played any role, whether large or small. We want to say thank you very much, and your contribution were certainly deserved. Have some final shots from here in the presentation ceremony, and it's going to be the last time you're going to hear my voice show the tournament in the execution of the NLA GPL T20.
We too just want to say thanks to everyone. That's all we have left to say, just to say thanks to everyone who have made this possible. TNR Connection for a tremendous work. All the parishes who have been really supportive of this tournament. We want to thank all our viewers who have been following this all over the world. We certainly appreciate you being part of it. We are happy to be able to bring it to you, and certainly we'll look forward to certainly you joining us probably later on this month when probably there's another activity. But we were really happy and really blessed, Justin, with tremendous condition, even though we were concerned about the weather. Here we are at the end of the tournament, and the sun actually came out again.
Yes. So as the sun sets in the west, of course, it rose for St. Patrick today. It set for St. Andrew, and we are going to be going home, Crony, and next week we'll be sailing our kites. Yeah.
So certainly.
I hope you will do the same. Happy Easter to everyone coming up, and we are gone from the National Stadium here in St. George. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you have enjoyed every moment of it. Goodbye.